Conservation Commission meeting. It's January 11th, 2018. We're here in beautiful Ayer Town Hall. Why don't we start just by confirming the agenda so we are not going to have our discussion.
That's right.
Okay. And after this first public hearing, we will be hearing from CPC. Or are you on your own, or how are you?
I'm on my own.
We'll be hearing from Ms. Pravadakis. Miss Pravadakis. And I believe I spelled it right.
R-A-G-H-T?
J-A-N-E-T.
Oh, thank you.
So, any other changes necessary?
No.
I would accept a motion to approve the agenda as marked.
So, second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Let's skip our other humdrum exploits. Let's open this notice of intent. Do we have a DEP file number?
You know, I checked the email as I arrived here, and it came in at 4:49.
CE 100-0420.
We're up to 20
Well, so let's open our public hearing for our DEP file number 100-0420. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Kyle Burchard. I work with Goldsmith, Preston, and Ringwall. With me this evening is Cal Goldsmith, Scott Smyers of Oxbow Environmental, and Mr. Calvin Moore, the owner of the property. So we have, if I can Van White a bit for you. This project had received some town departmental comments, which we have addressed regarding parking spaces on the property, and also the fire department had some concerns about circulation. So what you see in front of you is a slight modification from the plans that you had received originally. Just made these updates, so I just want you to be aware of that. Perhaps I should be here for everybody to be able to see. So I think it'll work this way if everyone can see and hear me. Then where we are is at 217 West Main Street, which is down at the very end of Ayer, right before the Jackson Gate into Fort Devens. What we have is a site that has a mysterious past, but it's got a sometimes broken, sometimes still intact gravel or asphalt surface. We've mapped the extent of the asphalt surface the best as we can, although on the sidewalk with the agent, we discovered there's even more broken asphalt that's further into the woods through the tree line. So in the project that we're proposing, that'll all get either taken away or refurbished or turned into a stormwater infiltration basin. I have put a kind of an environmental analysis map together just to kind of help understand on the site what's happening with the tree line and the wetland buffers that are there, as well as where our infiltration facilities will be. I don't have the square footage of tree clearing. Actually, tree clearing will be about a half acre, 22,370 square feet.
Can you say that one more time?
22,370 square feet. The proposed wetland buffer disturbance that's in this smaller hatching is 19,915. There's other wetland buffer disturbance. There's no wetland disturbance, just in the buffer. There's another 14,600 square feet in these various cross hatches that are right at the perimeter of the previously to be removed, the paved area that is to be removed. We do have some flood zone encroachment, which is really a necessity from the overall drainage configuration of drainage requirements, only really allow us to get this, to make use of this area for stormwater. We have another area over here, but we couldn't get the entire site to go over there, so we had to split the drainage somewhat. So we do have an area of compensatory cut that's up here. this point in the site.
I don't mean to interrupt you. What's the size of the compensatory cut?
It is 2,030 square feet.
Thank you.
So this is just this is a color rendering that was done before the slight adjustments that were required by the town departments. And the only changes really would be a clipping of the building here. Let's try this. And then a clipping of the building here. And then there are 3 parking spaces, 1, 2, and 3. So the building is cut shorter. So that these are parking spaces instead of building. Those are the only changes from this. So here we see where the woods generally extend away from the property, where we're clearing, and then that'll be grass and it'll be allowed to naturalize. We have then the BBW is back here in the pink. We have our 2 stormwater management areas. We do have a couple of retaining walls in order to put the site in. And we do have, it doesn't show on the legend, but all the paved areas in gray, and then of course we have landscaping that's going to be up along the frontage of West Main.
Before you turn, Kyle.
Yep.
So you indicated that there was 22,000 square feet of tree clearing. Can you show on there, is any of that in the rear of the property that's going to naturalize? Is any of that part of the tree clearing?
It is. The original is actually either shown on the previous drawing. Sure. So the existing tree line right now is right about here. And the limits of the asphalt are pretty much where it's not treed, except for little areas that go in here. Again, I'm not sure what's happened. Trees might have grown up through the asphalt over time. I'm not sure if this entire plateau had been paved at one time. Indications are maybe it was. So the limits of work that are out here is where the trees are proposed to be cleared.
Okay, so when I match up the 2 plans, and again, I'm sorry to interrupt you. When I match up the 2 plans, there's a lot of area in the back you're calling to clear, but it just becomes grassed.
That's right.
So isn't that into the buffer zone, further into the buffer?
It's into the buffer zone for specific reasons for the development. Yes, so that's we're asking for encroachment into the buffer zones.
For grass?
Well, not explicitly for grass. I'm saying it will naturalize. So in this area is where our infiltration basin will go. So
Right.
that's in the back here. Part of the development encroaches beyond where the existing tree limit is, so it's part of the development. The area up here for compensatory cut is that will renaturalize, I suppose. I mean, it's not called out to be manicured lawn. It will be graded, stabilized, and allowed to naturalize as it comes back. So between the edges of the proposed infrastructure improvements and building improvements, this is the area where the compensatory, or actually appears where the compensatory cut will be done, and this is just slope to get down there. This whole area will be allowed to renaturalize. It's not going to be manicured lawn. There will be no manicured lawn around here. Maintenance will be required within the infiltration basins, but otherwise that will be allowed to renaturalize outside from the perimeter of the improvements.
Okay, it doesn't make sense to me, but okay. We'll continue to
Wow.
figure it out.
Why so?
Maybe we can show the grading plan, maybe.
Yeah, let's move on.
It just seems like there's a lot of clearing. So I understand if you're trying to get back to the compensatory storage area, which I understand, compensatory storage, but then it wouldn't seem that you'd have to do all that work to get back there. You could just make a path to get back there.
That
I suppose that might be possible. This is really the area where the compensatory storage will be done.
Actually, I'm sorry, can you go back to that first page? I thought the compensatory storage,
Up in this area.
yeah, right there.
Right, well, this is a part of it.
You said 2,000 square feet? 2,030 square feet,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Okay,
So that's all back along in here.
sure.
So we have to get down to that elevation in order to get down to that area foot per foot to replace the volume of floodplain.
Yeah, no, I've done it before.
Right. So,
But I guess I'm just trying to figure out why so much area is being cleared just to get back to that area. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. What is the grade on there? What's that drop?
this is a 3-to-1 drop, 1, 2, 3, 4 feet across here in order to get down to the elevations where the compensatory storage would be needed.
Okay. I guess I'd like to see it in the field.
Okay? That makes sense. So we have one entrance coming into the site that would serve the 5 buildings that are shown here. The first building right at the entrance has a handicap parking space with the striped out area for access, and then a second parking space, which will be right in front of a 120 square foot porch that's attached to a 600 square foot
I'm sorry.
office.
I'm sorry.
No, thanks, please. If you get that working, it'll be helpful.
Oh, okay. I'm trying with Cindy. I just
So-
need to power it down.
So that's the main building.
I know
There will
how to do
be
that.
water and sewer connections made down the street frontage. Behind that is the first of the storage spaces that we use for mini self-storage. You have another larger building than the building that's in front of the parking spaces, and this one out here. And finally, this one right next to the office is right here.
So that's an office facility, a manned office facility?
It will be, yes, 600 square foot. One bathroom, So, water, sewer, and electrical services, and the site is basically split at this point, coming this way or that way. This water comes through this way through 2 tree box filters for pre-treatment, and then it comes down to a 4-bay before it gets into our infiltration basin. 4-bay and infiltration basin work as a team in order to get us our total suspended solids of 8% on the site. So that's kind of one system coming this direction. And the other side also doesn't have a tree box filter, but it has a deep sump hooded catch basin to then go into water quality swales and 4 bays that go into this infiltration basin. There's a DEP comment that this infiltration basin is too close to the wetlands. We have to make that modification still. We just got their comments this evening. So beyond that, all the road water is going to pass by the site, and the entrance grading is split, so nothing from the site will come into the roadway. This eastern infiltration basin is a unique animal because it's got a couple of half concrete structures that are going to form basically the embankment for this basin. This is the most efficient way, since this is technically filling in the floodplain, this is the most efficient way to get the volume necessary. There will be penetrations through these structures. They're basically going to be half septic tanks with holes drilled in to allow water to get in, infiltrate inside these structures as well as in the basin itself. There's a culvert coming out from the roadway, taking road drainage that's passing by the site in an existing channel. The culvert is degraded. There's been a lot of erosion that's occurred over time, and so the last section of this discharge pipe is actually dropped and is separated from the pipe coming from the street. But that'll work out well with what we're planning to do here, dropping in riprap to be able to keep this whole channel armored as it passes by our infiltration facility. This facility is designed so that at the 100-year storm, It'll be right at the 100-year water surface elevations. There won't be any disparity on either side of this, and if we have a higher event storm, there's not going to be any serious overtopping that's going to result in any kind of a damage to the facility. It's going to go up all at the same time and come down at the same time. So that facility over here handles that half. We have a retaining wall that supports this last unit storage structure right here. As we come around, again, our grading is fairly tight to the floodplain. There should have been in the NOI a depiction of everything that goes along with the compensatory storage. If not, I can get that for you. But we detail out how we get that. I hear your concern about what's going on back here with that compensatory storage while the cut.
Isn't that,
Look at least
from what I
the
saw on your
minimums.
plan, isn't it the closest point to the, it's literally the closest point to the resource?
It is. It's also the only place where the compensatory cut could reasonably be made. But we can take a look at other areas. Other areas aren't at the elevations that we would need.
Look what Janet did.
No, Cindy.
Through Janet.
We use that
Excellent.
Facebook.
I don't have these plans, but I do have the other plans that will take us into the next kind of phase of our discussion. So we have again these two stormwater systems. We're bringing our post-development flows down to our existing. We're meeting all TSS requirements. We don't have a review of the stormwater drainage report. Apparently, town departments have told the DPW not to review it. I didn't understand why. I couldn't figure that out. I was very disappointed that that was the case, but it has nothing to do with this commission. I just want to let you know I couldn't control that.
Did you hear that from Mr. Wetzel himself?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is, by and large, this is what the project is all about. We have these 5 buildings, we have 2 walls, we have 2 infiltration basins, and the drainage infrastructure to get there. There's a landscaping plan. To provide street frontage trees, we're proposing red twig dogwoods, spring glories, little leaf lindens, and red maples through this area, as well as options for, the appropriate options for what goes in the tree box filters. Of course, along the frontage, extends beyond the entrance and the actual in front of the buildings. A couple more trees as well to help, break up the scene from the roadway. Are there any questions about the physical development proposed on the property?
So the final pavement elevation, how does that relate to what's out there now?
It'll be fairly comparable to what's out there right now. There's not much room from the roadway to get up before you're in between 2 long, flat slabs, basically.
So the flood elevation for the 100-year storm is 218.8.
That is what we have, yes.
And could you show the commissioners where that line is?
Well, the line is right along the 218 contour.
I say I hope it goes through your 2,000 foot.
So at the very end of the day, that's what the floodplain will do. This plateau of land has been there, looking back in the USGS maps, it's been there for a very long time.
You don't know what the occupancy was before?
I don't have any idea.
I know it as, in the 70s, was a used car lot in McNiff.
Right.
As far as my brain goes.
I remember whenever we discussed about it before, that was how it was addressed by either the Board of Selectmen or folks. They said, oh yeah, it was the used car lot. I was hoping it was never a gas station or anything like that.
Yeah. No, not even back to the shopping center did.
Okay.
So
Good.
you're not aware or aware of any underground storage tanks?
Oh, no. Not on this project, no.
Did you guys do a phase one?
No, we've not done that.
Didn't have to. The, my brain dead right now. On the building prior to this, before this, the gas station was there. And Shell
Right,
Oil.
no, right, over where your other.
But nothing here. No. Mm.
Right.
Do you have any questions, John? Did you have any questions? I just didn't want to leave you out.
I have a couple more questions. So the lot itself, so you're planning to pave it?
Yes.
Yes, inside, in between, up to the limits of this dark line here. Where the shading, it's very light, but you can see.
How much usage will it get eventually, like over time? Like, usage on a month-to-month basis?
Usage as
Usage.
people going in and out.
Yeah.
National average of a self-storage unit is 1.3 trips per month per unit.
Okay.
So if you got 60 units, you got 90 people divided, you got 3 people a day.
Right. Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, 1 year long.
Now my other units up there now, I can tell by the snow plowing and whatnot, they don't come around. They just don't.
Any plans to maybe put a hard packed clay surface in?
If we didn't have snow, yeah,
Yeah, I know.
that's the problem.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
clay gets muddy and,
Yeah,
and
and messy, yeah. Okay, just curious.
plus the clay wouldn't be porous anyways to recharge the water.
You'd have to do stone.
Yeah, like crushed stone.
No, you can not in New
crushed
England.
stone,
So the other issue with this is where Willow Branch or Willow Brook, depending on which map you look at, runs along through this property. And there's a question of whether riverfront area extends into this part of the development.
So what I wanted to follow up to that question was, so right now, you're flagged on the plan flags are showing the resource area for the wetland that's directly behind the project.
It is.
Right. And then off the property, do those flags that are along the property line to the west, do those flags represent the edge of the Willow Brook, or do those represent the edge of the wetland area that's next to the brook?
I'm hoping that the graphics that I do have for you will help to clarify some of that. This is the flagged wetland line.
Gotta buy him another color, Cal.
Yeah.
Right here, yeah.
Yep. And though it's cutting in and out, this is the flagged stream channel. It's important to note it's tenuous that there's any kind of stream channel for the last few flags here, and it does stop, and it enters a wetland bank.
May I have the con?
Yeah, I think we should hear.
We'll probably need the,
What do you have?
It's just, you don't want it, whatever it is.
I agree.
I'm telling you.
I agree.
it's not like this with the other A&E firms.
Wow, I'm
I don't know which,
I had documents, so I thought it would be on there.
well,
No, you gotta go
I
to
need
the-
an Explorer somewhere, but I don't see where to get into an
So see
Try
the
the-
little house up on the top, very left-hand corner?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
would
that's
be
much
that.
that's
Yeah.
much better. Oh, I
That's just where you
see.
were.
That's where,
Yeah, I see.
Well, hold on a
Okay.
sec. Is there any chance that you're... No, it doesn't pop up.
No.
So kill that.
Yeah.
Try that. Actually, go back there, please.
Here?
To documents.
Okay.
Below there was one list. I don't know if that just reorients what you're seeing or if that gives you a chance up on the cloud and then list.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Does that maybe get you to an Explorer type folder? No. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, down the bottom. What's that, Debian? Is that you?
Oh.
Is that you?
That is me. Thank you. Oops. How do I go back?
Control Z.
That's not working.
Alt left
Wait,
arrow.
there it is. There it
you
is.
go.
Okay.
Wow.
So I wanted to get everyone oriented to the site, and I'm hoping that it displays properly up here. I guess there's a few other things I want to just mention quickly about this project that we did. We are in this Squanisit ACEC, and we did get the letter from the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife that we have no adverse impact on the resource area habitat, and we do not result in a prohibited take of state-listed rare species. We did receive ZBA approval for the use on the property. I said before we addressed the fire department concerns, the building department concerns. And what?
Going back to them for...
Well, we would have to go back for the compensatory cut and the encroachment into the floodplain. So that is still to come.
I'm sorry, just to make sure I understand. How does that relate to the zoning board?
Apparently, because it's its own district, the flood zone district, it is governed, and it has to be a special permit in front of the zoning board.
For the full floodplain.
I guess I've never heard that
Yeah, it's we prescribe it.
Yeah.
before. Okay, just not familiar with it, that's all.
Yep. So what you see in front of you is the boundary of the property, just very plain, just to start us off. Okay.
And since west is bottom, that's the one that's headed, the bottom of the page now is what we were seeing before on the left side of the page. There we go.
Yes, I'm trying to get away from going through this too quickly, but it's very slow. Okay. So this is the boundary,
386.
I guess. So then we look at, just basically what do we have on the site. Here is the large, almost a representation. It's really the tree line around the large wetland bank in the middle. This is the tree line, and then this dark dotted line is where the asphalt is that'll be removed with the project. Then we have the flagged wetland line that comes all the way through the project, and it's, the tree line doesn't show up that well, but perhaps you can see it. There's also additional flagging that was done for the MBTA, for an MBTA project by VHB that is back here beyond this huge wetland bank.
I'm sorry, did you say by VHB?
Yes,
Was that through Devon's?
it was the MBTA. The MBTA train, the train tracks are at this end of the property.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so again, we're oriented, we're turned sideways, and there's a 6x6 foot box culvert that comes under the train
I
track.
know that area. I just didn't think it was VHB that flagged it.
Apparently, that's it. We have a plan from them that they flagged it.
That's very odd.
Huh? Then we had B&C consultants go out and flag the stream channel to a point. It bifurcates at this point, and it comes this way, and it stops. And it was a huge reedy wetland in this area, and through the thicket, through the closed, it's a thicket, this channel picks back up.
Where's the McPherson wellhead?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
I wanted to get you fully oriented to the environmental conditions on the site first before we zoom out. So this represents, of course, the dark blue lines represent our project, our property, and the tree clearing that we're proposing for that. Next slide, please. It's thinking about it. Maybe I'll hit it one more time and be lucky.
There you go.
I'm just showing the buffers on the wetland, of course, and we are encroaching into the buffers.
So that far line is the 100-foot buffer. So you've
This
got
far
25,
line.
50, and 100.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Now we're zooming out. You have your orientation to the site, to the wetlands, to the buffers, to the property boundary. That was important just because, we're going to look at a couple different maps. This is obviously just an aerial map. Over here, the various mappings are not exact, but this line represents basically where the property is or the access goes into the well. It's not quite aligned with the aerial, I guess because the aerials sometimes get skewed. But this cyan line represents the limit of the Zone 1. This blue line out here represents the limit of the Zone 2, and we clip it just a little bit right there. So we're all in the Zone 2, the entire property.
So not to interrupt you. So I know we didn't discuss this. I don't think we discussed it with the last job, which of course is also shown in the plan here. Did you guys talk to Devons?
Yes, I've talked to Devons, and it's the same approach or the same reaction to this, that this is not on the Devons property, and therefore they're not imposing their requirements, but so compliance with Mass DEP is what we're held to as far as they're concerned.
Okay.
I need to get something official from them to provide to you, but I don't have that at the moment.
Okay.
It's also worth pointing out that when we did the last job, the river ran, if there is a river there, the channel ran more or less due north, this way.
This is the USGS line that is shown on all the mapping.
So the channel that we're talking about now didn't exist when we did the other storage.
The channel that goes off to the right behind you.
Yeah.
When we say it didn't exist,
It didn't flow that way. It flowed the other way. And since, as their deposits build up and whatnot, and especially when you have the real heavy rainstorms,
yeah.
it changed course.
Okay.
Okay, this is where it is on Devon's.
I'm just making sure we're keeping up.
Yeah, oh, sure. This is actually the Water Resource Protection Overlay District map from Devon's. Just scale to fit. Again, you see where our project is, project boundary, wetlands and buffers. And this is where the well is, and we have a line, that cyan line goes around that well for the Zone 1. The Zone 2 is right where we have it out here.
That's interesting.
Next, we have the FEMA flood map for the same area. We have our Zone 1. We have our Zone 2 peeking in around here. We see other property lines. This 218 hits the site, but that's at a different datum, which is why we're at the 218.8 flood elevation. Here we have a little bit of Oliver Mass GIS.
Is it? I'm so sorry. Is it
That's
too
okay.
hard to go back?
No.
Something added right after you got done. Showed 218. Just trying to.
This 218 here
Yep.
is, the Nashua River had a flood study done, and so they actually mapped the cross sections. So 218, 217, and so on down the line. So it's flowing downstream that
Gotcha.
way.
No, I was just trying to. When it popped up at the end, I was just trying to make sure I understood what it
So my understanding of the FEMA flood maps, when it has a wiggly line like that,
Wiggly line?
yeah.
Oh, right.
218 is the wiggly line.
Yeah.
That they put that there, and then say, and it follows the course of whatever stream is going through there. But that's why it's wiggly, and that's why it's kind of on a.
Yeah, the elevations through this area are roughly 212 to 210, and that's where the base of the slope of our project around here is kind of where that ends up. It's very flat through the rest of this area. So being at a 218, I don't actually know what the elevations of McPherson Road are through here, but it's a little bit lower than our site.
Closed when wet.
It closed when wet, yeah. So it will flood. Maybe it's a couple feet of water. I'm not exactly sure how
Up to
deep
4.
it'll be, but that's just the
4.
general elevation.
By
And
Martha's
certainly
Storage.
you have friction from all the trees that are there. When you have that size of flood, you have the constriction here, which is what's kind of backing a lot of this up. I'm not sure how useful that 6x6 culvert is in the 100-year flood, but who knows. The rest of these dots are 500-year flood zones, Zone X.
Yep, and it really just skirts the back of the
Yep.
plateau. Yeah.
Mhm. Just another view with our property, the wetlands and the buffers and the property line, just to see this is kind of what Oliver looks like. And of course, the hatching here is showing the Zone 2 and Zone 1 extending back on into Devons.
And
So
Willow.
to be clear,
And Willow
this
Branch.
is USGS?
This is Oliver Mass GIS.
Okay.
We'll get to, yeah. This is out of order. I had meant to put this at the beginning so everyone was oriented to the basic line work that would show up on the maps you've already seen now. Sorry. This is the USGS Surficial Geologic Map. And again, this represents, the brown represents an artificial deposit. This is the railroad, and this is generally McPherson Road and other old, filled deposits. This darker brown or I guess it's a lighter tan maybe, represents coarse deposits. This light green represents floodplain deposits, basically a fluvial alluvium, I guess. So, and then you see where the USGS had considered Willowbrook to go, again, off the site mostly until it crossed at the culvert, coming into the Nonoquakus, upstream of where, it comes into the Nashua down here.
So the brown filled area within the property line, what was that?
I have no idea. No idea. This is, this was done by Stone in 2007. So I don't know where their records. Very possibly, maybe they were doing excavation for the railroad. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know.
Don't we also have to say based upon, so that's actually beyond what you guys surveyed?
Where? Here?
Brown area would be back here off the plan.
Right. Actually, it's in the wetland bank itself.
Right.
This is where this is. And so we did not continue our survey out this far. The flagging was picked up, but topographically, there wasn't anything picked up back here beyond the toe of the plateau that we're proposing to build on.
And you're saying Willow Brook, that course of it changed?
The blue line is where all the USGS maps show it going, but it's very clearly cutting into the site and braiding out into this pretty large wetland bank. I guess so. This is just the legend for what you saw up above. The floodplain alluvium. We don't have much of the early, but the coarse deposits. So that's really leading us through that discussion. So I don't know if there are any questions about any of that. If we want to go back and look at any of those images for questions, I know I kind of just waltzed through them, but are there any questions?
Well, to be clear, I assume the reason for the presentation was to discuss whether Willowbrook is a brook or not. Because if it is a brook in that area, it would seem that we would fall into riverfront.
Right. Well, the history of this project was we were looking at this project and what was going on with that stream. Obviously, there's something that flows there adjacent to the site, and upon walking out there and exploring it, it just turns into this huge wetland. And so, we were going down the road of thinking perhaps this is a riverfront that we have to contend with, and we were working through solutions. But it was still confusing how we would frame this up for a proper NOI for the commission. And so we contacted Oxbow Associates to help us figure this out. We didn't know really what we were dealing with, and they're our experts. So we found out, and I guess I can let Scott tell the story from there. After we went and walked the site, Scott went out and investigated. This is Scott Slyers of Oxbow Environmental.
Thank you. And just to give a little history, we were involved in the MBTA project too. We didn't flag those. Obviously,
That's what I was gonna
VHB
say.
flagged it. We were involved from the wildlife perspective. So
What was that fellow's name out of Townsend that we dealt with on this? Who was the one who came to us with the railroad? Remember his name? Remember his name?
Sure.
He was the one that we dealt with all up and down. So that's why when
Okay.
you guys said VHB, it didn't make any sense
Yeah,
to me
that-
because I didn't know why the evil empire was out here.
Well, we didn't work directly with them exactly on that. But did you send them the copy of our report?
Yes,
Okay,
they have
so
a copy of the report.
You've
I
seen
did-
that.
I don't have it for the screen.
Yep.
But,
And can I get onto the Oliver one that you had maybe? And
Yeah.
I could use that for
Sure.
a little bit of my discussion about it. Yeah, so when I first met Kyle out there, we walked around the property and he showed me where the flagging had occurred for the wetlands. And if you can follow the mouse here, we started up here and followed the flags. And there was obviously a small stream channel that was flowing. And then it kind of got more confusing when things started to spread out there. In other words, there wasn't a defined channel anymore. It sort of went off this way, and then it went off this way again. And I agreed to come out there later on my own because we just did a little preliminary walkthrough at the beginning of August. And so I came out a few days later, and I did walk all the way around this whole area out to the train tracks and remembered, oh yeah, I had worked out here before. And actually I walked out on those train tracks, and there's a lot easier way to get there than to go through this whole wetland. So, but I discovered that the water wasn't flowing anymore in this direction, and then it wasn't flowing anymore in this direction. So even though I started hanging flags thinking, okay, well, if it's flowing at the upper end, it's going to continue through, because that's, if you read through the definition of a perennial stream in the regulations, it starts where it stops being intermittent and it's flowing all the time. So I said, this needs some further investigation. So I wandered all the way around here, and I was familiar with the USGS that clearly shows a dark blue line where Willow Branch is, and but I couldn't find it in this area. So I went all the way through it and out to the train tracks, and I kept going until I found the culvert, which wasn't that easy to find.
It's not that easy to find.
No. And scrambled down the bank and then found the culvert, and I said, I'll work my way back up this ditch. And I had my GPS with me, and that's why you have those maps with some of those points on it. And the ditch was bone dry, even though that same day I had observed water flowing up here, but the channel up there was not, as I said, it petered out in both directions as a split, and what we usually call those are braided channels. They're braided back and forth. The topography and the channelization is not great enough to create the incised steep banks on either side of a stream, a traditional stream that we think of. So I followed that the ditch back up and took some pictures as far as I could until I finally got back up to where I started, and I realized, okay, wait a second, this isn't the same stream that they had mapped originally, and it doesn't really show up on aerial photographs either. And then when Kyle showed me these surficial geology maps just recently, it said, okay, that makes sense. They probably, and knowing the history of the area, because we've done a lot of work in the Devons area in Oxbow National Wildlife Refuge, working on rare species, so I'm familiar with the ecology and the landscape around that area. And I'm also familiar with the history of alterations, right? So this ditch is very straight here. The portion that still exists is very straight, and it's obviously was dug out by a machine at some point. And probably those areas that are shown as fill, eudorthants or whatever they call them, on that surficial geology map, maybe castings left over from when they dug it out the last time, and then they spread it around. And so it was local fill is one of my guesses, and that's the kind of thing that can really have a impact on the drainage of a natural wetland system. So long and the short of it is what I think is going on here is you have drainage coming from across the street, flowing onto the site through the culvert, and then as it gets further into the site, it just dissipates out here. I'm sure in the spring, maybe after we get a couple inches of rain the next couple of days, there'll be flow in the main stem of that ditch, but it definitely wasn't flowing last year in August, and I went out there the next 4 days to document it and took photographs every day from this location. We've done this many times with lots of different types of stream systems that are mapped as perennial, but for one reason or another, they dry up in a non-drought year. So it's my contention that the dryness in that lowest location is clear evidence that this is a intermittent stream, because if it was a perennial stream, it would be flowing at the lowest area and flowing then discharging further to the north. And with that being the case, and it was not a drought condition at that time. The regulations are quite clear that if we submit before the pictures 4 days in a row, that the commission shall look at that and consider that evidence that it is indeed an intermittent stream and not a perennial stream. It is confusing how the drainage patterns are in the wetland, but I think if you were to try to regulate it as a river, it would lead to more confusion than anything else, because then you get into redefining what a stream is, because right now we have a stream that flows some and then it stops flowing, dries up, and then it starts flowing somewhere else further down, and that by definition is not what a stream is. And I'll just read briefly the definition of a river. Rivers begin at the point an intermittent stream becomes perennial, or at the point a perennial stream flows from a spring, pond, or lake, period. Downstream of the first point of perennial flow, a stream normally remains a river, except where interrupted by a lake or pond. So I think that is what I found out there, and I think it's still, there's no dispute that it's a big wetland, and it has a 100-foot buffer zone associated with it, and it should be protected as such. But the stream has been manipulated a lot, I believe, and it is not a perennial stream in this section anyway. I spent a lot of time crawling around out there, and I'm pretty confident of that.
Our circuit rider, Judy Schmitz, had some things to add. Have you seen?
Yes.
You've seen because this is floodplain, not in the FEMA sense, but just a physical floodplain, and the soils are loose glacial soils, and the high and medium yield aquifers are right underneath this property all the way over to the well.
Yeah.
Her concern is that even though August was not a drought month, we were down, by the middle of August, we were down 2.5 inches over normal rainfall in August. So you combine that with with the soil type, with 93-foot deep well that has a very high yield. And her concern is that all those factors contribute to the willow branches not appearing to be perennial in the middle of August.
Mhm.
And she did say that there are other ways to interpret your good work.
Mhm.
Given, we had that unusually extreme drought extensively the previous year, how long does it take for an area of the watershed to recover from that kind of drought?
Every wetland system's going to be a little different depending on the geology, the vegetation, the topography, the lay of the land. But I think that it's important on the comments that you were just mentioning that it just came out today. She specifically asks, has the brook upstream of where the photographic evidence was collected been evaluated to determine whether the stream is significantly affected by water supply withdrawals, wells, direct withdrawals, impoundments, or other human-made flow reductions or diversions in accordance with the 310 CMR, the regulations, so forth. And upstream, if I can, is the whole site is upstream of the well, right? I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I certainly did view this whole area. I didn't really go too much over here. I think this is buried.
Yeah,
A
that
lot of is,
location,
and then
right?
It's so
They
they daylighted part of the stream.
They did.
Much farther up,
Yeah.
and then there was the stream which was effectively reoriented by the military so that it was beside
Jackson.
Jackson. Isn't
Oh.
that funny? I live there. I don't know the name of the street. So it was reoriented. So it runs aside of Jackson,
Yeah.
and then it passes down in behind Parker School,
It's open to,
which is here.
yeah, it got reopened to Cavite, is that right? And
It's yes, all the way back behind the fire.
and up to Cavite is what Neil Angus had told me, that was determined to be intermittent, at least at that point. So,
And I would agree, because the stream up on this side, the stream up on that side, most of what used to contribute to that stream is now redirected into the stormwater that is part of the road. So what happens is everything that used to flow into this stream, literally up to this point, has been redirected, which is both positive and negative. It's negative for determining if it's a stream or not. It's positive for now that water ends up in discharge basins where it can be properly treated before it ends up down in the aquifer.
Yep.
So everything that happens up to about this point is man-made. That stream from here over has been redirected, re-outletted, and has the majority of the water that would contribute to that stream is redirected now into stormwater basins, all part of the redone when they redid Jackson Road. So that water all used to go in the stream. There were catch basins on the side of the road and blue pipes that stuck into Willow Brook right on the side of the road. That's all been cleaned up, so that doesn't happen anymore. So that's a huge element, and that was 2015. It was the summer of 2015 when they redid Jackson Road. So 2016, 2017 would have been just the first couple of years after the road. All those changes have happened. From here, I think this is pretty much buried over here till there's a head wall.
I believe so, yes.
So some of it's buried, and then it pops up, and then there's a, did I do that?
You did?
Yeah. Oh, how about that? And then there's a head wall, probably right about there.
Yep.
Ooh. Right there. And then it comes underneath, and then
It opens up.
it opens back up on the other side. Somewhere in there, and I didn't see it, I don't know if it's that far down. There is a manhole structure that water shoots out of when it rains hard. Shoots out of, like 6 inches out of, just bubbler
That's in the middle of the road, right?
in the middle of the road.
I've seen it.
I don't know what contributes to that. I don't know where it comes from. I don't think it's far enough to be part of this culvert system. I think it's before that. So all that then dumps down to that area. So this area that we're talking about here, right where it crosses the road, is definitely wet all year. And then from there, it's just, obviously, different times of the year, you'd have more flow than less.
And are you saying that the work that was done on the upstream side is now, a lot of that was done to sort of improve the water quality? So
It was. It would
does
have been done to improve water quality because it took all the water that used to run directly off the street into the stream and took that and now dumps it into a series of basins.
Yep.
A series of basins.
Yeah.
So they not only they daylighted the stream up above, which was, it didn't make sense why it was under anyway. They daylighted the stream. So are you familiar with Devon's at all? You know where the fire department is?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Do you know where the hotels and the
Yeah.
restaurants are?
Yeah.
So the fire department is just before those.
Yeah.
So right behind that is where they began the daylighting of the stream, and they brought it all the way out.
Okay.
And then it continues, runs all the way through until it gets to. So this is where the building is, right? So you come down here. This is where the very entrance is. So somewhere in here, it then goes back underground, probably under their driveway, pops back out, and then this is daylighted to the head wall.
Yeah.
Everything from here back, all the roads used to dump straight down into it. Everything dumped straight down into it. All that's been cleaned up so that all the water that comes off the road now goes into the stormwater.
Because that may help explain it as well. It's another very important contributing factor. Thanks for explaining that, because the size of the ditch at the lower end looks like it had some serious flow going through it at one point, and it makes sense if fairly recently, or maybe even over the years before that, things were redirected. It didn't have quite as much flow, and that upper portion maybe got silted in and vegetated. It just didn't have the scouring that it used to have.
Right, and now all of a sudden it turns right.
Yeah, it just sort of filled up on itself and turned one way or the other and dissipated out, which I think still helps explain what we're looking at there.
Well, and also, I can tell you that since the stormwater work has been done, the stream is dry. In Willowbrook is dry more often than it was before, which again is positive and negative.
Yeah.
So all that water used to come flashing out of there, and now it doesn't.
Right.
So.
Because of the straight line that Willowbrook had taken adjacent to the property, and the straight line it takes once it leaves the culvert on the other side of the railroad, and because of its, it seemed, as you said, Scott, and I hadn't seen that portion of it, that seemed like it was fairly well formed. I mean, maybe that Willowbrook was a ditch for a drainage ditch, man-made by the Army at the time, but it needed some place to get that water that was coming to a natural valley, but they manipulated it as they saw fit in order to be able to get the water off. And it's been restored to a point where it's cleaning, it's being cleaned of the use of development on the roadway properly, and now it doesn't flow as much. It doesn't have as much water going to it.
There's also, if you were to come up Jackson Road toward the fire department, there are hills on both sides. So all that water used to come down to the street. All that
very
water
quickly,
right,
yes.
and then go down into the stream.
And that's what
And
you
so-
see in urbanized watersheds is you have a flash flood effect that needs a large capacity, and once you restore a natural fluvial geomorphology and you give pools and riffles to the system, it will slow it down.
Well, I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing, because when the work happened, I was excited because if nothing else, it meant that all of that material that was ending up down in the stream wasn't going to continue to shoot over into those other wetlands. So that is positive. And in this case, it also helps to explain why there might have been reduced flow through Willowbrook at that time, because now Willowbrook doesn't need to do as much as Willowbrook used to do. So kind of makes sense. I'd rather it made sense than it was a mystery.
Me too, which is why I called him, and because I didn't know what was going on with this complex system.
Yeah, and just, it would have been a lot easier for me to flag it as a river, but it didn't meet the definitions, and so I didn't. But I knew that if I could flag just a little piece of it as a river, or something that was far enough away, that would be an easier way to go, but it wasn't that easy. So that's why
No,
we're
but
here today.
I think we can all probably agree that when we get 2 or 3 inches of rain in the next couple of days,
Mhm.
that there's gonna be a lot of water going down through there, and that there's a very good reason there's a 6-foot box culvert
Mhm.
underneath the railroad.
Mhm.
And if this project can still be built at a smaller scale and still be economically viable, like Kyle and I talked about yesterday, to reflect the quirks of Willow Brook, because some days the whole thing is going to be full of water. And in the middle of August, most years, back by the culvert, there's not going to be much water.
Mr. Chairman, if I can ask a question here. I don't want to scale down the project. I scaled it down enough. It's determined that it is not a river. It's everybody else's water that's coming onto my property. A few bags of cement, sarcastically, put in that pipe, it'd cure all the problems. We don't do that. But it's not a river, so I really do not want to scale this down. So I object to that. I mean, we have scaled this down enough. And I know I got 20 or 30 acres in there, and it's just, I got a ton of land. I'm not sure what the right number is anymore.
Well, Calvin, unfortunately, you own wetland. So.
I don't want to do anything in the wetland.
And, years ago, we were filling in wetlands all the time.
I'm
Fill
not
in,
doing
fill
that.
in, and fill in, and that's why the state of Massachusetts has the Wetland
I
Protection
respect
Act.
that, but I'm not filling in the wetlands. I'm not building in the
I
wetlands.
totally agree with you.
So
I know.
I'm outside of that.
I know.
It's not a river. I'm not in the wetlands. I'm doing what the code tells me to do. And that's all we're asking.
Yeah, and I think that there's it's not completely cut and dry whether that brook is an actual brook or not a brook.
Well, I guess, with all due respect to what you said, this board, for hundreds of years before you coming on board here recently, has highly respected Oxbow.
Oh.
Almost like they're the god of this situation. And now you're starting to question his expertise into that, and I have a problem with that.
I don't think that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Well, I just heard that.
no, that was
Joanne,
not my intent.
I think in response to what you're talking about, the stormwater management on the site works, whether it's a river, it's a wetland, or whatever it is, the stormwater management meets the regulations that we need to protect that resource area. So it's really a matter of semantics at this point, because either way, the stormwater management is accomplishing what it should be. So it's, if you agree that it's not a river, it's not going to mean that there's going to be any less treatment, or there's going to be any less impact, or any more impact to the wetland area, or the area you're talking about as a river, because the stormwater management accomplishes the goal, whether it's a river or not. So it's not going to make us a material difference in the site itself. It's just a matter of do we talk about having to meet riverfront usage guidelines or not?
Yes, it's a definition. Is it
Yeah.
defined?
That's all we're talking
Yeah, it's
about.
defined as
Exactly.
It's not going to make a
riverfront or
material
defined
difference
as
of what happens on the
a
site.
wetland, right? Or not?
And you have multiple resource areas. You have flood zone you have to contend with.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the compensation, which requires more.
Well, and if the project is scaled back, Kyle, to the extent that you showed me when we put it up against the window, does that still require compensatory storage? We didn't-
Absolutely,
we didn't
because the
actually-
that doesn't reduce it at all.
Okay. So
Because
it
your
wouldn't-
compensatory storage is,
Is a result of the eastern basin,
Okay.
which has to be that low, has to be out there adjacent to that road discharge in order to get the volume that's necessary.
Okay.
And it's a diverse wetland system. It's got a lot of good qualities to it, functions and values,
Absolutely.
and the way the project's designed, the history of that developable portion of the property. It was paved, not too long ago, and it's grown back, but the forest is fairly young. I mean, it's a good candidate for a project like this, and it has a very low likelihood to have a direct or indirect
Well,
impacts
it's
on
going to be
the
improving the
biggest part of
existing
the wetland.
conditions because there's, now there's treatment and there wasn't before
Very much like what's happening happened on Devon.
on Devon's, right?
I don't know that I would, I don't know that I would go quite that far. The pavement there's broken up, there hasn't been anything there for 20 years. So, I guess from a river standpoint, it feels like that's more of a 70-30, if you will. It certainly feels more intermittent than perennial. I guess where I'm still having trouble is, so we're actually doing our compensatory storage in like the worst possible place.
Well, I mean, here, maybe this will help. This is where the trees stop right now. And, and I see what you're saying, we're getting closer into the buffer, however, it's not a tremendous forest or, but that is just going to be, that will revegetate to whatever it is from whatever's surrounding it. It will continue, it'll grow up.
Couldn't it be planted?
It could be planted, but
Does that still qualify under compensatory?
I believe so.
Yeah, it just has to be, the elevations
It's
have
just
to
the
work.
volume,
Yeah.
right, just the elevations of the contours in that area.
I did, on the side of the river in Providence, we had to find, it was like 250 cubic feet of compensatory storage because of a cabinet. So I remember what it's like. I guess I just wasn't, I wish it wasn't at the very back, at the very last place where you'd want it to happen.
Is there some pavement, is that filled back there and have sort of pavement? Well, where does the pavement end?
As far as we
Kind of
know,
hard to tell.
it's difficult to tell. There's been a lot of sedimentation over time. There's been accumulation of sediments on the surface. And inches below the sedimentation,
So you don't know
there's
where it is.
pavement. I don't know the full extent of it. We've made a conservative estimate as to the limits, which is short of where it actually goes. A stormwater design is somewhat conservative. This is where we're calling the limit of the pavement. Now, I believe it goes back further, but we weren't gonna try to, go too crazy with taking credit for something. Some of it's broken up, some of it's in still pretty big sheets, but
We did
There's-
see chunks of it kind of sticking out where the,
slope drops off.
yeah.
And so here's where our line is, we're assuming this is where the slope drops off.
Yep.
So this whole area very likely had been used for the car lot, and then this was maybe a weaker point in the paving project, and it broke up faster, it got little seedlings, they started to break up the pavement. I don't know, it's possible that this area, that we're calling trees now, we show trees on a plan with a tree line, that doesn't mean that it's nice, dense, lush, hardwood forest. I mean,
George birch trees.
it's not a lot of great land here, or vegetation here.
Can you turn back to the plan, the one that I have, vegetation? Okay. So, if I can make sure we've tied everything together. So, people have questions and concerns about this stream. We've heard from Oxbow with regard to Scott's findings when he walked through the area back there. Did you flag the wetlands here?
I did not flag the wetlands.
Who flagged the
But-
wetlands?
Dave Crossan flagged the wetlands.
Okay.
They looked good to me, though. And then we tied into the VHB flags, which I saw too. And looked like a good.
My only concern is it's just not something we can easily verify if we were to walk out there tomorrow with a foot of snow on the ground. So we have the information on the stream, we have flagged wetlands as denoted on the plans. We have the compensatory storage that's required at the back of the project. After that, everything seems pretty normal. Questions we would have, for instance, during work, where would you store soil during the project to keep it from ending up in the wetlands?
I know one thing will be hay bales around wherever it is.
I believe you, but it's just such a tight site. There's not a great place to leave soil. So what were you guys
I
thinking?
guess, Bill, how I would have to answer that is I'd have to ask Kyle and say, what's my cubic yardage? And if there's 1,000 yards that I don't need, I'm gonna go put it somewhere.
No, understandable. And it's just one of our standard questions that we've asked on every one of these. So
I can start to answer that, because we haven't gotten to that point of analysis with the actual construction of the project, but, you know, all the work that's in here is not deep. This is not a lot of deep work. There's some trenching that'll be needed for the storm drainage and so on. There's plenty of room on this site to be able to store that minimal amount, but there's material that has to come out of here. The existing pavement that's there has got to come out.
It'll go to Keating.
Maybe it can be reground and reused, recycled, but that'll come out, and that's going to be a fair volume by itself. And basically, that will have to be brought in for new asphalt. But there's a lot of room to work here to be able to get this to its final grade, which isn't much different than what it is right now. And so I would posit that there's not going to be a whole lot of stockpiling that could, I would think, certainly work within the limits of a perimeter control system that's going to keep things from running off the site and sedimentation downstream.
Can I just interject on that, Bill? The hot top would be hauled into Keating's.
sure.
And if there's any surplus, I don't want it in our way, so it's got to go.
Well,
So
and that's
really
the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah.
So are you 4-foot foundation or are you slab on grade?
We're slab on grade with a 16 by 16 inch
Haunch.
around it.
Is there going to be more fill from the detention basins or material you're digging out, and then the compensation though than the site?
We said 2,000 square feet of compensatory.
That's square footage.
Right.
I'd have to get the actual numbers on the volume. I think that I may not have that. It's not in the back of the NOI package. I have the numbers, but again, it's not a significant amount of volume back here that could be stockpiled somewhere and lost in the grading around the basin.
Probably in hundreds of cubic yards, probably not.
Right.
Okay. And so we also have Fish and Wildlife has said not adversely affect resource area habitat.
The other thing you have on the very back of the packet for this is the stream stats that show the probability of this brook as being perennial is 0.98. And it has did you do the stream stats too, Scott?
Yes,
Okay, so,
but it depends on where you pick the point, you know.
well, and I picked the point at the culvert, just.
The down, yeah, all right, that's about what, yeah, and it was not helpful to our cause of saying that it was intermittent. It was
I know,
another
it's-
confusing factor.
Because it's helpful.
Because of
to
the
my
watershed.
cause, I'm saying
Yeah.
it's perennial.
Right.
Yeah. It's got a 1.38 square mile drainage area, which is over the 1 mile
Yeah.
threshold.
Jimmy, can you walk me to where that 98% figure is located?
It's on the second page.
Scott, how often do they update stream stats? Or grading?
About on the bottom.
impacts on.
Right where your left-hand.
That's a good question.
I'm wondering
Did
how
you
bad
have
it's
a
not
map with that?
Oh, here, I got it.
area now after-
Probability stream flowing perennially, 0.98,
Yeah.
0.98.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's percent, right? 0.98%?
Right here.
One is,
In one.
it's perennial,
Yeah.
yeah. And .98 is,
So,
it's pretty darn perennial.
so if I may, who pulled the stream stats?
I did.
You did, okay. And this was based on,
And Judy did too.
and you're saying this was based on this point over
Yep.
here?
Yep.
Okay. So if it's possible to do this, does it make sense to do it at this point and at this point, for instance, to try and just identify,
Yeah.
just to build a profile?
I don't think it would change that much. It might, but yeah, it's,
As long as you have a blue line, you can do it.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
So one of the questions I used to ask Scott, he wasn't sure, is how often stream stats are updated to reflect new drainage patterns and development patterns upstream. You could be looking at a condition that was based upon drainage that used to happen on Devon's, it doesn't happen anymore.
So I was thinking the same thing, but when I was looking at this, it seems to only take area into account. It unfortunately doesn't seem to account for
Well, that's
what
what
we've done to that
That's actually what
area.
I was thinking about is, if you look at all that area that now used to drain into the river, that now drains into other basins that infiltrate, you've effectively reduced that area quite a bit.
I don't think it's that fine-tuned in any case. I think it's more of a, based on the most recent USGS map, you know, like, so 84 or whatever, right?
It's definitely a helpful tool. It's, and it's listed as one thing to point to, but I guess that's why the section that's talking about the in situ evidence to look at what the stream is actually doing says, notwithstanding that, if you have the stream dry and for non-drought days,
Yeah, if you look at the regulations immediately after the section on stream stats, it says notwithstanding, all of that right above that, issuing authority shall find that any stream is intermittent based upon documented field observation that the stream is not flowing, period. A documented field observation shall be made by a competent source and shall be based upon an observation made at least once per day over 4 days in any consecutive 12-month period during a non-drought period on a stream not significantly affected by drawdown from withdrawals, water wells, blah, 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 blah.
Right, and that was Judy's rubbing point, was that
Yeah,
bit of language.
With regard to potential drawdown due to the wellhead.
yeah.
It did seem like when we got our information today, the concern was drawdown from an upstream source,
right.
not so much a downstream source.
Because she specifically asks about looking upstream, which makes sense if you go back to the definition of a perennial stream, starts where it becomes perennial. We haven't seen that.
Well, I was interested to see that on that Devon's map, that the other well that's in the area is Patterson, that's past. It's farther downstream. And the other wells are considerably farther away.
Well, they're on the other side.
That's
of the
on the other
divide.
side of Shepley.
Right.
Right. I think what we're all talking about is we
It's here.
just want to make sure that we're being accurate and fair. So there's a couple different issues. Obviously, as soon as that stream is shown as a perennial stream on the USGS map, the very easiest thing for this Conservation Commission to do is to do this, perennial. To your point, you have evidence that it was not flowing for 4 days, which I don't dispute your findings or have any reason to criticize what you did. At the same time, there's clearly something going on that's next to where the property is. I'm not sure how the property would affect that area or what effect that stream would have on the property or the potential work. I think what I would like to see during the site walk, unless anybody has any further questions to discuss on this at this point, feels like site walk is the way to go. And I think what I'd like to see on the site walk I'd like to see the basic limit of work kind of staked out so we could identify where the paved area was gonna be. And then maybe one on the corner of this retaining wall so we can see how that jumps out. And then we need to understand this. And then I really want to get a handle on this portion right here. Because that really feels like there's a way to do that differently.
Kyle, is there an easy way to show on that particular graphic where the 200-foot riverfront would, is it shown?
It's not.
Yeah,
It would
here.
be, you're approximately right, Bill.
I think this
It
is
would-
about the only, this tree
Yeah, it might,
be pretty close.
it would be pretty close, depending on, again, how that determination is made and whether or not it would be appropriate to stop the stream with the big bulb
Right.
and then pick it back up where it becomes channel again.
Well, to your point, Joanne, maybe it's easier to see on this map because of the gray lines. So this gray line, this one here,
Yep.
that's not our limit of work. This dash line in here, is that the 100 or is that the 50? It's got to be the 50. Yeah, because here's the other line. It's way up
So
here.
this is the 25,
Yeah, it goes like
the
this. It's
50.
the 100.
The
Yeah.
limit of work is kind of right there.
Yeah, and the 100 is in this area here. So
The
100
100
comes out to here. So if this is the 100 like this, then the 200.
Right. The
If
stream
you-
is a little bit away from it, Bill, but you're right. It would be approximately right through there. There might be a little section here of the entrance that would not be in that 200 foot. If you were to take the stream all the way out.
If you took the stream out that way, we go.
Right, and then it would, so you kind of have still a discontinuity with there being the end of the stream into not a stream,
And then
and then a stream again,
Yep.
which is sometimes dry,
in August.
non-drought. So I don't know how that would be defined exactly.
Yeah, that's the other confusing thing, is if you're talking about calling it a stream, and one of the main reasons for calling it a stream is because it's mapped as a stream, but then the stream that is flowing doesn't really follow where that ditch is, then where are you really starting your 200 feet from?
Well, and that's where that's part of the whole question.
Good reason for a site walk.
Well, the primary thing to say at that point is, what are you protecting? That's
Exactly.
That's the main question. What
Yes.
are you protecting?
That is a very good point.
I would suggest that, this is a self-contained stormwater treatment system, bifurcated, I guess, one here and one here to clean and treat the water. And cutting it off at this point, although I understand what you're saying, Bill, about the clearing out here, but again, that will revegetate.
Could revegetate as part of the project.
Could revegetate as part of the project.
Okay.
So logistically, when can we possibly realistically do a sidewalk?
You got 72-degree weather coming.
Oh, I know.
We
And,
have really messy
and
ground.
the rain is going to take away a lot of the snow. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if you go out in the middle of the summer, it's not any easier.
You don't want to do it.
Do you
That's
have
very
hip
site.
waders?
Actually, I
You
do.
think I'm joking.
No,
I'm not joking at all.
I actually do. The real question would be, do you have a broom to carry so that you don't sink down? So right now, according to our esteemed Apple friends and their weather, which is hardly ever right, it's going to be 57 tomorrow and poor. It's going to be partly rainy on Saturday and 45, but I won't be here. It's going to be 24 to 32 for the next 5 days, and next Saturday is supposed to bulk up to 40. So, I guess what I'm concerned about is I don't want to waste your time and effort putting stakes in to go visit the site when we can't see the vegetation. And so that wouldn't really help us with a site walk. So I'm not sure when the best time to do a site walk is going to be.
We have asked other projects to wait on sidewalks until we could see vegetation.
I guess what I'm saying is, I'm happy to walk the site in 2 weeks, but I don't think it'll be definitive. I think we'd then have to walk it again once we could see vegetation, as
Why,
we've done in the past.
Bill, excuse me, why do you need to see the vegetation for my own?
So part of what we do when we do the walks, Galvin, is we are identifying the topography. We're getting a feel for what's happening out on the site. We're getting a better understanding. Often, while we're out in the site, we identify things that we couldn't tell from the plans. For instance, Kyle was talking about the trees. So going out and seeing the trees and seeing the health of the trees, seeing the health of the area that we're working in, it gives us the opportunity to say things like, keep this, not that, or nope, that makes perfect sense to us, or gosh, this doesn't work for us.
Understand.
And so, unfortunately, we can't do that when everything is hibernating and doesn't have leaves on it or isn't alive.
I guess I want to go back to is that it is horrible in there when the vegetation comes in. It's just all the scrub brush from 8 feet down. It's mostly all 2 and 3 inch scrub brush, scrub oak, scrub birch in there. And that's kind of really what it is. So I might want to disagree with you. I think you'll see an awful lot without waiting for all those leaves to pop out of them trees.
Well, I'll make a deal with you. And I mean this as best I can. I'm being as straight up as I can be. If I have to go back, I have to go back. But I am happy to go walk the site in 2 Saturdays.
I agree with you. I agree
On the
with that.
20th, if we want to stake out the areas we were just talking about.
I can't really,
You're not around.
I've got a lot.
Are folks around on the 20th?
I think I am, yeah.
So if you want to stake it out, we can go take a look on the 20th. We'll make all the observations we can make at that time, and I'm assuming that we can probably stand there and say either this worked or this didn't work at that point.
You're talking February 20.
I was talking January 20th, but
January, I'm sorry. January.
don't give up a whole month.
Me bad.
I'm keeping this one.
Me bad.
So, Bill, and I hear totally what you're saying. It's going to be important for you to see what's out there. I'm curious as to how far back in here, if you look up at the screen, how far back in here do you feel like you may want to get?
I have fantastic boots. I'll figure it out when we get there. I don't know again, part of the purpose of a site visit is I don't know what's back there.
True.
And one of the options would be to
Follow the stream channel.
Come in here.
the site
No.
is as good as you can go. Go around the site as much as you want, and then you could drive around McPherson, walk down
Right,
the train
McPherson.
tracks, and come in that way. Some,
Well, I think that would be illegal.
Just do it.
yeah, that's a good point.
There are buildings on my land, Bill.
And also maybe, and I, if we're agreeing there needs to be a site walk, I just want to manage the expectations about trying to walk through that stream channel. But
I'd be super excited if it was frozen. I'd make
might
it
be
even
frozen.
easier.
no, that's true. But the vegetation is still going to be there, and it's not easy. But that's
Let's do the best we can.
I'm
Of
not
course.
debating any of it. That's the point of the site walk, is to see what I can see and figure out what I can figure out. Because as you know, we've done other site walks that were miserable and heinous, and
not like this. I'm serious.
Well, let's plan on that, and let's just do it and make the best out of what we can get.
Yep.
At least
So-
ticks are coming.
yeah,
Ticks are
That's
very-
true.
that's the key. No
That's-
bugs.
No bugs.
No bugs.
That's a win.
Well, we'll just say that Tuesday and Wednesday, right now, are scheduled for some snow, so that
Well, but then when you go on, it says flurries. So yeah, this doesn't give you the.
one
What do you
or
want?
2 weeks.
We're going until the day before.
Right.
weather change.
I hate those people. So to be clear, does anyone have any other further questions for Kyle before we go?
So, are we foregoing a stormwater review?
No, I don't think we're foregoing anything. I think, because as discussed, so I'm glad you brought it up, though. We'll send something off to Mr. Wetzel to find out what the plan is on the stormwater review. If Mr. Wetzel isn't doing it, or for some reason can't do it, then we would have to go to a third party to do the stormwater as we've done in the past.
I'm sure he would do it, Bill, but he was told not to do it.
Well, and so the beauty of being a volunteer board is that I'm not getting in the middle of the politics. But if he can do it, then that's great. And if he can't do it, then
So
That's great.
Kyle, should you be contacting him?
I'll take action tomorrow.
It doesn't change the fact that it has to happen, obviously.
Yeah.
If I understand that the Conservation Commission is requesting that he resume his review or begin his
Actually,
review.
what I would say is that the Conservation Commission is in need of a stormwater review, as has happened in the past by the DPW. If it is still possible for the DPW to perform that as a service to a tax-paying company, then that's fantastic. And if it isn't possible for the DPW to do that, then that's fantastic. It's a company called Haley and Ward. They're right down the street in Maynard, and that man's very difficult. So I'm sure he's great. So one way or the other, obviously, we need a stormwater review. We need a sidewalk. And I feel pretty confident on where we'll probably come down on the stream, but I'd really like to do the sidewalk to get a better feel for what that means.
Do you want to pick a time?
Is the 20th
January
a local
20th,
date?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else? Okay, I would accept a motion to continue this public hearing until January 25th.
Second.
First on the agenda?
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. See
Thank you,
down on the
everybody.
25th.
Thank you.
Put it in my phone before I forget and don't show up. Feel guilty, especially since I can walk to this one without any trouble. I'm sorry you won't be there. It doesn't sound like your walk anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah, that would be.
See you.
Your morning anniversary. Morning of the anniversary.
Well, sort of, there is a, and then, well, the end is but I can give you my,
Are you sure? Oh, you're gonna come to this. I got it.
but as he's describing, knowledge of the I didn't infect
You know what? Maybe we'll all go. Maybe we'll all go. Okay. Hey, CJ.
What was Jim?
Okay. Ms. Pravadakis, we had you listed out as our next person.
Thank you. It'll be very quick. I'm showing up because I was told by, pardon?
I was telling Kyle.
Okay, don't forget your
Oh.
memory stick.
Oh.
I always
Look at
forget-
her, huh?
I
Okay,
always-
so
I always
somebody
forget.
you gotta do the.
Go ahead.
Well, you fixed it.
Well,
Keep going.
just because I did that doesn't necessarily
I'm
mean,
assuming this is you're the top
you
one.
know,
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be fine.
yeah. I was just gonna say close all. It's like, okay. You got it. All right. Yeah, I was asked to come here back on when we had a meeting to discuss the conservation fund.
Oh.
All right, so with that, I thought Robert was going to be here, but he had another engagement, I gather. So I just want to remind everybody, you know, you guys have to work on policies and procedures. And then,
Isn't that sweet?
I know. I say it with a smile, because you know the CPC would be willing to help out as well.
Well, I think CPC wants to, Beth Sudamura said. CPC
Where is
wants-
Takashi now?
I know. That some
Working.
members of CPC would want to participate in that as well.
Correct.
Well, and I think based on our meetings, I can't imagine we're not coming at it from the same direction. So it would be great to set us all up in the same room and go through what we're looking for.
Okay.
And I think we were all hoping for the exact same outcome.
Uh-huh.
That the money would be directed to specific properties that help conservation and provide open space.
Correct. Right. And do you want to mention anything about?
So to that end, if you look in your packet and find the trails map, the next document behind the trails map is the draft of the DLTA grant that Mark Archambault and I put together to Montechusett Regional Planning for a project that would, if we get the grant, they will do the mapping that we've outlined here.
No fooling.
Grant proposal, not only for Ayer, but all the surrounding towns, so it's on a, kind of on a regional scale. Here, Jess, you can have, it's gotta be here. Yeah, it should be, well, it should have been.
Should have been right there.
Yep, here. Here we go.
Joanne took your copy.
I must have, yes. I know. So they would do, they would do this mapping at a regional scale for a whole bunch of data that Mark and I have identified so that we can see where connections into other towns' already existing open space might be possible. MRPC loves these kind of regional projects, and Mark says he has a very good track record of getting these grants. So we should find out in a week or two if we were successful.
Okay, so what that sounds like to me is that on the 25th, we may want to try what we were scheduled for tonight with Robert and Al, and or was that something entirely different?
That's something entirely different.
Sweet
And
Francis.
I know. And Robert and I are going to have a information exchange about the Wild and Scenic Nashua River so that I can just bring that information to you.
So,
because this is the third time he's not been able to be here, and I think
Robert.
he's realized that we have to do this a different way.
So, our next meeting after that is February 8th.
Okay.
What if, do you have any idea, coordination of the schedules of, say, Ms. Studemeyer or anyone else?
No, I do.
Okay.
I do not.
Do you feel like February 8th being an entire month away might give us the opportunity to, for folks to clear their calendar and come that night?
I'm going to say possibly because February 7th is the CPC meeting.
Oh, right,
Okay.
right. And the 14th is Valentine's Day, so.
So February 8th to work on policies and procedures
Work on policies, well, hold on. Work on policy and procedure for this,
for the conservation.
for the conservation
Mhm.
fund.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not falling for the other one. So 2-8. Remember when Becky used to try and make us do policies and procedures all the time? She was so tricky about it too.
I won't ever do that to you.
I believe you. Really didn't like the pizza that night, so that's that. Remember? Just wasn't
I
great.
don't remember the pizza.
We have to wait until after the meeting so that we don't.
That was good pizza.
Right. It's not the first one.
So does that mean I have to bring something for you guys to eat?
Well, it turns out that often policies and procedures are much better achieved with food.
Okay. All right.
So, but we can do that all together at the time. Because what we'll do is the meeting we'll have, ostensibly, we wouldn't have any open hearing items for that night.
Yep.
So we're literally blocking the night off
Yep.
to do policies and procedures, at which point we can then split the evening by jumping into our RFP draft and any finalized comments we need to make.
How about that?
How about that? Yeah, see, look, it's right here on tonight's meeting agenda.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're saying jump into that?
Well, we're going to discuss it tonight, and undoubtedly we're going to have some direction, but then we can jump back into it on the 8th. So
When
on
we're
the
done
8th,
with the policies and procedures.
policies, we're not going to have 3 hours of policies and procedures.
But I was thinking we need to get the RFP out.
I didn't hear George.
So when does the RFP need to be issued?
Well, last year we had it issued in December with due dates in the end of January. That ship has sailed. But I do have what I would consider to be a pretty complete draft right
2 years.
now. I do.
Okay. So why don't we stick with 2-8 for policies and procedures, and we'll see you then.
All right, that sounds great. Would you want me to get
No. We'll,
some sort of draft together at all, or?
oh, no, we can have bottled.
Pardon? We can what?
Oh, you meant.
Oh, bottles.
Oh,
Bottles are
I see.
I do have bottles as well. I do. I won't worry about that. Never mind.
No, we can arrange for food when there's no. We'll do it when you get here.
Oh.
Oh, you meant for the rules. Oh, that's,
I can bring draft too.
if you wanted to do stuff, and especially if you wanted to get feedback from folks on your commission the night before.
Right, that's what I was
We
going to
can
go
get it
into.
up on the-
Okay,
Okay, good.
all right, that's a deal.
Great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Jen, and
Got
thanks
it.
for your.
Thanks, Luck.
for
Oh,
your-
you're welcome.
your tech
I'll let-
interface. Yeah.
I'll let you show them.
Yes, that I can do.
This is actually cool, because this is a first for us.
Oh, well, isn't it?
Where it worked?
Yeah.
No, we had photos
We've
before.
seen pictures
We've had
before.
photos before off of Jumpstick. We have had photos
That's
before.
true, yes, that is true, right.
So we should make sure to share that password, not on camera.
Well,
Okay,
it,
well,
was,
let's.
it was this password, so I don't know.
If we needed to reboot, that's what it was.
Okay,
Oh. Yeah.
so that we don't keep other folks
I know.
waiting.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very
Have a
much.
nice night.
Have a good night.
Other folks, all me.
You're the only other folks left.
Thanks.
I'm so sorry this has
You-
taken
you-
so long.
You jumped me on the agenda too, but I don't know.
Well, actually, did you want to go talk to him? He just left. Can explain all of it to you, I'm sure.
No.
Would you please join us for a discussion on the request for the
Come on up.
COC for 97 Holly Ridge Road? All right, and for the record,
CJ Moore.
Annette Moore.
good evening.
Hello.
So, in as full disclosure, a few months now, right?
Yeah.
Is it November? It was pretty cold.
October.
Was it even October? Oh my. So back in October, yeah, we came by to see the house and met your neighbors next door. They're very nice.
They're delightful.
She was very sweet until I told her that everything would be fine, and then she made us leave. And it's not even a joke. So, while we were on site, there were a couple different issues. So the primary issue is that a considerable amount of work had happened on the house that wasn't part of what was determined to be under the permit. Are you aware of that?
Permit of.
So
approved
the
plan.
original
The approved
approved
plan,
plan
correct.
and permit were issued. The notice of intent was issued, but a bunch of work happened that did not reflect that. And so, do you have a way to?
I'm seeing if we have pictures from before.
So, as Joanne finds the photos, we actually had two pieces. So, a young man who had worked with Penard's and is friends with my son and I were talking, and he said that there was a real problem with water in the basement, and we saw that you guys had done a curtain drain down the property line.
Correct.
And so, actually, the very first question I had is, have you solved the water problem in the basement? No. Okay.
Oh.
So,
Well, there's. While we're on the water issue.
the water issue, so just so we're clear,
Yeah.
what happened shouldn't have happened, but it's not the end of the world. We can
Right.
deal with what happened, okay? But what I don't want to do is have other things happen after we're done talking about it. So what we'd love to do is make sure that we work with you to solve the water problem and get that done properly and make sure that all the protections are taken care of so that it can be finished and then you can have a dry basement. So we want to help with that.
Yes.
So where are
The-
you headed with it?
The water issue, let's go back to the beginning. This lot, unbeknownst to me, was 100% fill. Okay, and you know it's clay. Okay, so to do it properly on a foundation, we had to go down to virgin soil, which was 9 feet.
Right.
I'm not going to put a footing on clay. In doing that, the whole time during construction, no water in the basement. That retention pond fills up. The actual elevation of the basement floor is about 3 inches higher than the elevation of the water sits in that retention pond. It's groundwater. It's there. That retention pond is designed to hold water and disperse it. The actual outfeed of that retention pond is, I don't know, a foot above where the actual water is. So it's going to take another foot of water to. So that's
It'll take another foot of water for it to flow.
to flow.
But it's by definition, and this is one of the things about having a detention basin
Right.
like that, the detention basin is where the water is to go and sit so that the settlement of all the sediment can come out, and then the water slowly and quietly
Yep.
goes down.
I get that. So that's the water issue. The other issue why we put that curtain drain is that water will come off the hill from the neighbor's house,
Of course.
and it has nowhere to go. It's clay. It just slammed. The hydraulic pressure on that foundation is immense.
Right.
The water problem is not solved. It's improved. As
Ongoing.
Yeah.
Are you saying, is the water coming in through the sidewalls? Is it coming up through the floor? Where's
There's
it coming
water
from?
coming in through the pins in the foundation. There's water coming in through the cracks that have been created in the foundation due to the pressure. There's actually so much pressure that water's coming through the cast bulkhead stairs.
Yikes.
It's interesting, though.
Interesting is a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had an engineer look at it to give you options or plans?
That we haven't.
Okay.
I wanted to see what that curtain drain would do.
Must have cut some of it off.
It did. But you still have the actual water that falls on the 27 feet on the side that has nowhere to go. It's not terribly a large amount
Right.
that falls there, but there's the whole issue is the clay, and it's been an issue on that whole project. It's just
So, actually, this isn't the one that we're talking about. Lot 29, Holly Ridge Road.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't recognize it because the original the driveway was on the other side.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So this was the approved plan. I found this in the file.
So, the strip that runs behind you is an actual wetland that runs directly behind you.
Correct.
And then behind it is the basin, which opens up.
There's 2 basins, I believe. Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
One.
significant.
Right.
So there's a couple different options. So one option, if you're still not getting what you were hoping for out of the curtain drain, one option would be to have an engineer come in and we can work with you
Okay.
so that water that comes down the hill comes down here.
Correct.
Whether this opens up more, whether you end up doing some kind of sheeting, literally,
Okay.
in that area, we can work with you so that that water could go right into the stormwater basin. Stormwater basins are designed to take water off of the street. So if your foundation water went into that same stormwater basin, it really shouldn't be a big deal.
Yep.
Does anybody have any problem with that?
Mm.
Okay, because really there seem like there's two options. One is that we deal with the water before it gets to the house and we work on it together,
Yep.
and we come in with an engineered plan and we isolate how to take care of it. Or the other one is you fill your basement in. And I don't mean to sound flip, but honestly, if you're having this much trouble, yeah, if you're having this much trouble, what's the other option?
Yeah.
So let's either deal with the water, or
I think it's solvable. Like I said, without getting an engineer involved at first, because
so the curtain drain was the right way to go.
Right.
The curtain drain was the right way to go.
8.5
Just
feet
didn't
deep.
get it done.
Right.
How deep is your curtain drain?
It's 8.5.
Okay.
It's deep.
And
So-
you said it was stone pipe.
Stone pipe.
Okay. At the risk, Annette, of yelling at your son in front of you, next time when you're going to dig that close to the wetland, gotta come see us.
Yeah.
Gotta come see us. So, my recommendation would be hire Cal and have him come in there and tell you what's the best thing to do. Did you guys talk about it at all? Have you talked to anybody about any of those engineers about what they would do?
No.
So I would have done a curtain drain as well.
Yeah.
But then the only next thing I can think of is physical sheeting
Yeah.
driven down into the ground so that the water
Stops.
can't get there,
Goes up.
and then give it a place to go.
Yep.
I don't know what else you'd do. Now, that's all based on the idea that the topography is driving your water problem, that the water's coming down the hill and coming to the house, because that's where, for all you know, that's where it always went. You know how this works. Sometimes you dig a foundation up and you're like, hey, look, a pool.
Right.
And it happens on the first day, right? So this could all be water that just comes off the hill, in which case sheeting would be literally one of your only options.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Driven sheeting isn't too bad. The problem with it is that the equipment to do it might be expensive. It might actually be cheaper to dig and pour concrete.
Yes.
So you got a couple different options.
Okay.
So as you can imagine, we're probably not ready to issue a certificate of compliance.
I know that.
We do need two things and this also plays into talking to the engineer,
Mhm.
we need to take the as-built plan. So one of the things we're dealing with is this drawing right here. That's not what the house looks like today.
No. You,
So one of the conditions, when you come for an order of conditions, is that when you're done, there's a plan that the engineer, basically, either the engineer sends us a letter and he says, everything is exactly like I designed, and we say, great, elevations, everything, we say thank you, or he says, we made these changes, and here's a new plan.
Well,
So-
we have, in your packet, Steve did send us,
there's an as-built from Ross and
Yeah.
from Mullane.
yeah,
Okay, perfect. But,
but they don't
It doesn't
line
have
up
the-
with the,
right, it doesn't have the curtain drain.
right.
Were you able to do anything else back there?
No, that's all we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we'd love to do is work with you.
Yep.
And
Appreciate it.
right now, the curtain drain dumps out on the side over there. When you talk to the engineer, he may even tell you to bring it farther past there,
Where should it dump out?
potentially, farther over into the stormwater basin. Again,
So here's where
right.
it ends right now, yeah.
And that's not finished, Bill. That's kind of, we did that, and we're going to see what happened. Obviously, that has to be dressed up, and I talked to Joanne about that too.
And this is, again, and is that your retaining wall, right?
Yes.
Right. So, yeah. Mostly what we want to make sure is that you come to a solution that works for you. And let's do it all together. And then once it's done, we'll have a final plan and we'll sign off. And that way you'll never have a problem when you try to sell the house or anything else. Because right now, we couldn't issue a certificate of compliance because A, it isn't. And B, clearly you've got more stuff to do.
Yep.
So, and again, we're happy to work with you. Please make sure that all future work goes through us so that we work together on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be a piece of cake.
Good.
So would we need like an amendment to the order of conditions to do future work, or?
Well, I want to see what the engineer comes back with.
Yeah, they'll draw up a plan, and I'll get it to you guys. And
If it's driven
Before you
sheeting,
can put your
then
eyes
there's
on it.
literally no
Yeah.
excavation.
Right.
If it's excavation and a wall and another trench, etc., then we start to get significant.
Yeah.
And then the easiest way to do it is to just, I don't know what age. Do you know when this was issued?
The order of
Original
conditions. Oh, jeez, I don't have it in my file.
2009.
Was it really?
It's got to be 10 years ago.
It says 2014 here.
No, I'm looking at
The
this.
bottom left of the,
Right there.
Oh, that might be when the plan was, but
Okay, where do you go?
I'm looking on the second page in the certificate of compliance, request for certificate,
Oh.
and it says this request is in reference to work on the final order condition issued on December 18, 2014.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, and
So-
that was after the meeting?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was after,
So
yeah.
the only question would be, did this fall under any of the standard 3-year bumps? So there was a period where the state, during the downturn in the economy, the state was automatically extending orders and zoning decisions and things by 3 years because
I think
people
that-
weren't building.
I think that ended in 2012.
Well, that's what I'm not certain
Yeah.
about. So
Yeah.
we just need to find out. If it ran out, then we've got to work together on an NOI.
Solution. Yep.
If it didn't run out, then it's a change to the existing.
Okay.
But if it did run out, then we are looking at a new NOI. But that would capture all the work that happens.
Do you want me to look into that, or are you guys gonna?
Well, Joanne can find out what the last bump was, which
Okay.
is easy, but unfortunately, I think as soon as she said 2012, I think she's right. I think
Okay.
that's when it
I
ended.
just saw it the other day on something
Yeah,
else.
which puts us into a new NOI.
Okay.
So that would be a plan, which you're going to need anyway.
Yep.
You can work off the Ross stuff, so it shouldn't be too hard. A plan, potentially, we'd have a filing, we'd have the advertisement, etc. It's not as terrible as I just made it sound, but it would at least allow us to put you in a position to fix the problem in the basement. So,
But if a new notice isn't needed, if it's just, say, driving the sheets, then in order to make the request conform to what was actually done, do we need anything?
The only thing that we would need is any changes that happen after this would have to appear on that plan.
So we need.
So again, Ross would need to update the
Right.
drawing
Okay.
With the current drain on
with
it.
the current drain on it, et cetera. But like you're saying, if it's still not fixed, I mean,
Right.
all we need is a wet spring and nobody
We'll
wants
find out tomorrow.
No, tomorrow doesn't count. Tomorrow.
Have you thought of flying your mom somewhere for the next couple of weeks? Just somewhere pretty.
Just gotta
May actually be easier than this.
I hear Bermuda's very nice this time of
I hear
year.
Shirley's lovely this time of year. Have you thought about staying there?
I'm in Shirley, Bill.
I know.
You can turn your cellar into a skating rink.
As someone-
Swimming pool.
It was a man cave.
Anymore.
As someone who's had water issues from new construction also, I feel your pain.
Oh, I know.
So
Like I said, it didn't happen until she moved in. It was.
no,
No.
it's disappointing. Well,
But it was the drought when we built that year.
Who knows?
Yeah.
well, and it's also, I'm not blaming your neighbors in any way, but changes to the land upstream, up farther on the hill. As little things happen, water goes different ways.
Oh, when it rains, it comes from the top. Hay meadow,
Yeah.
it pours down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So good luck with the engineer.
Thank you.
We'll hold off on the certificate of compliance.
Okay.
And again, like we were just talking about, you'll undoubtedly have to do an NOI,
No,
which, again, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
Oh, I've done them.
it will put us in the right place to clear this up, and then we can get it all signed off, and you'll have a nice dry basement at the same time.
Great.
Thank
you very much.
You and have a nice
Good
night.
to see everyone.
Thanks for
Good luck with the
coming
rain.
in. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay. Joanne, I see next on here that we had an RDA, thank you, sir. 25 Brook Street.
Yep.
Am I not remembering?
The DPW's new storage garage.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted
Okay,
them
so
to get-
we wanted more information about the stream.
Yes, and Judy asked Dan to map the riverfront for the stream and the 100-year flood, and he did. And she said, great, no problem.
Wonderful.
And there
Okay.
it is. You may sign it.
Okay, so to make sure everybody's caught up, the town is looking to build a new garage over on Brook Street. During that process, we identified that they would be right on the very edge of the 100-foot buffer, but we were also worried about the stream, which is behind it. And as that's mapped out, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So did we vote on this that time? I don't think we did.
You have to ask Jess. I don't think we could.
No, I think we said we wouldn't actually,
Well,
because we were waiting
that
for
too.
follow-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We move to continue to the 28th. So we postpone voting until the DPW heard back from NHESP.
That sounds like us. Okay, 28th, and then we didn't have an answer last time? Oh, we didn't have a meeting.
We didn't have a meeting.
That is-
Because
so,
somebody forgot to post the agenda in time.
that's why it feels like it's been so long since I've seen everyone.
Well, because it has been.
We've had a long break.
Yes.
Okay, well, it was the holidays. That's true. Don't worry, John, it's not going to happen again now that you're on.
Ever again.
Ever.
Never, ever.
Ever
Are you
again.
kidding?
Okay. So I would accept a motion to issue a negative determination of applicability, and what that means is that the law does not apply to this project under the wetland bylaw of the state and the town for 25 Brook Street.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So that takes care of that item. So at this point, we have the RFP for pond treatment, but before we do that, do we have any accounts payable?
We do. And boy, do we have a situation here in Town Hall. Martha Martha Riley, the beloved assistant accountant,
Yeah.
has retired.
Why? Who said she could?
Not me. Are you kidding?
Jorge.
She is my lifeline.
Has she already left?
She left, but she's come back very part-time, and she's going to train the new person who they were interviewing today.
That's all very bad news.
It is very, very bad news. Lisa is beside herself.
Mostly because, for anyone who's had to deal with her, Martha is wonderful and very helpful.
She
and
is.
will be missed.
She will never be replaced. I just, So, we have a bill for the ad for 217 West Main Street.
And you have the check for $81.26.
Yes, I think I had Kyle drop it into my,
Is it in there with something from Edible Arrangements? Because that's disappointing.
well, it was 100, what was that ad for?
Well, this says $81.26.
Well, that's not the right bill, because he gave me a check for $139.20. Which is the right amount, because
Did he?
I had to put it in the little sum.
Okay, so this is
So
for...
I have to find out what that is for.
Well,
So why don't you just give me that back?
unfortunately, wait, this is IO 1558059, then it says 12/1/2017. So we actually had a meeting on 12/1/2017.
No, 12/14.
No, did we have a meeting that first week after the holiday? The week after Thanksgiving?
November 30th.
11:30.
Oh, so it wasn't 12/1? Oh,
Details.
I was off.
That one might already have been paid.
Well, okay.
So let's just.
Wasn't that the Tillotson?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was.
Yeah, a lot of them come out to 81.26,
So-
and I know I have your check,
Yeah,
and
Jeff
they
gave
have
me
your
that.
check. And let me double check.
I'm guessing that one is, I'm guessing that's for that, because I think we had discussed that. Oh, because we signed it.
We signed it on the 30th.
We charged the Tillisons twice?
Yes.
And
You did.
No, the check was written at the time because,
Post-dated?
Was it post-dated? No. That's not my fault.
There's a real lag between when I bring the bills over there and when the checks actually go out. It's just.
Can I make a suggestion, only because this has happened so many times, not here, but in other things?
Mm-hmm.
Make them put the DEP file number on that.
Yeah.
There's a line there.
Yeah. That's,
Or put your own numbering system on
Yeah,
it.
that's-
1A12.
yeah.
That's the Tillisons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
1A13.
Yeah. Good.
Whatever.
We have some bills for office supplies.
Oh my goodness. Becky did this once.
I know.
What'd she buy? She bought rubber bands. Remember that? Oh.
I bought a stamp dater that actually puts the dates on it so you can see it for $10.19.
Didn't you used to have one of those? We used to have one of those.
We do, but
They
it
were
doesn't.
out.
it was dead.
It's really good. It kind of defeats the purpose when I have to then write the date on it.
I'm
because-
feeling ganged up. But go on.
Okay. So, and I bought.
Did
some
they
other
consider the fact that
things.
it costs more money to ship you 4 invoices than just one?
They had to back order my desk calendar, and they delivered it to this guy. Parked the truck, came all the way upstairs, put the desk calendar on my desk.
Unwrapped it and
That's-
put it on your desk?
Well, he didn't unwrap it, but he did
That's
put
quite
it
a
on.
benefit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you have candy on your desk?
I never have candy on my desk. And then this is $30 of the little tabs that you put in the hanging folders, and a notebook for the log, and a business card holder. And things, pads of paper.
Hey,
Yes.
did we get nameplates ordered for you?
Oh, yeah.
This is. This is turning into like the I can't even find your nameplate. Did you take it with you?
No.
It's not on the
missing?
chair rail.
It used to be with the historic. Sometimes it would say historic under it instead of conservation, right?
No, we never use them in store.
No, it's
So
just
yours is
not-
now just gone?
It's just not there.
Someone stole
Somebody-
George?
Somebody brought home the bacon.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It was there.
Was it?
So the easy way to do this doesn't work because the guy down the street doesn't carry this size holder, nor does he have a way to make this size nameplate anymore, so we have.
But they did it
I'm
for
just,
buying. I know. That was just a few
Online.
years ago.
Online.
I'm gonna have to,
Online.
Is it? what is-
Okay.
and
What? You didn't give me one.
I know, because I think this is not for us. I think I didn't buy rubber bands and a pocket file and pens, but this got put in our mailbox. So somebody else gets that one.
How is this so? So these all say Attention Conservation Commission up under a delivery address. What does that one say?
Air Town Hall.
There you go.
Attention Town Clerk.
Huh.
That's Susan.
Okay.
Trying to sneak it in on us and have us.
I'm sure she'll snap back. All right. So it's better than the bacon.
I thought the bacon.
You're just jealous. No one says it anymore. There's so many vegans. All right. So.
So what? You're saying we should just get rid of George?
No more bacon?
No. No.
It must have been an eco-terrorist.
Good thing your last name wasn't Fur. That would have splashed paint on it. All right.
So I don't know if they're going to send us a statement or if we just pay on the invoices. I ordered this stuff through the state buying system.
Here's
And
the
then-
best way for us to do this.
Yeah.
The commission, by voting and signing on the actual individual, whatever the heck these are,
Mhm.
can then say, here you go, we've said these are okay to pay. And then however it happens after that,
Okay.
tra-la-la.
Good.
Okay, so the first one,
Who's it to?
WB Mason. So the first one, and I'm going to need to see these pads before we sign off.
They're really
So-
nice. They're
They're 8.5 by 11.75. They're actually larger.
These
Yeah.
are really nice pads. They have a very stiff back and high quality paper. It's an M pad. These are there are 11 more upstairs.
Wait, how's it compared to this?
All right, no, we're not doing this. So there's pack of pads,
Yep.
insert tabs, tabs for hanging folders, business card holder for 90 cents,
I know. I'm
and
sorry.
a new 5x5 20-pound paper notebook
yes.
for $3.35.
That's our new log.
So the total comes to $30.60 because no tax is taken as a state entity. I would accept a motion to pay this bill for $30.60 for office supplies.
So moved.
The second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next one is for the desk calendar. It's apparently 49 cents and $6 added for delivery direct to your desk. So it's $6.49.
Yep.
I would entertain a motion to pay for one desk calendar, $6.49.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then we have the stamp dater. Is that like a serial dater? It's 1 1/4 by 1 3/16 imprint
Yes.
for $10.19. I'd swear Beck had one of these. This leads me to
Well-
believe that she took it with her.
No, it's there.
I
It
assume
just
that's some
doesn't-
sort of felony.
Just doesn't work.
We're out.
It was one of those things you use and then
It'll
you
get all
is
smudgy
it
and
there?
I don't be the one to point it out, but the three ladies are telling me how wrong I am. John and George are dead silent and thanking God that they're not in the line of fire.
growing up, we did a lot of art projects with stampers, and those stampers wear out.
I even tried to find the replacement ink cartridge because the little ink tray.
All right, I can't win this. That's fine.
Yeah.
$10.19. Take it or leave it.
Money well spent. Yeah.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I wish it was here. I'd stamp these so we could show what date we've done them on.
This is our final bill from.
Oh, because we have an actual
We
report.
do, with the footer about proprietary information removed.
How about that?
And
So now we can publish it?
yeah. And the little blue sticky in the back is the,
Statement of guarantee.
yep.
Greater than 95% control. All right, let's do that next. This is for $1,000 for Solitude Lake Management. It is the completion of our pond treatment money. Task number 6, submitting the year-end report. Again, it's for $1,000 for the report for Flanagan, for the treatment of Flanagan, Pine Meadow, and Sandy Pond. I would accept a motion to pay $1,000 to Solitude to complete their work.
So,
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So while we're on the matter of ponds and weed control money, Jess, I did try to find Lisa. She wasn't in her desk. She wasn't in her office, so I emailed her at 3 o'clock. Of course, I didn't hear back from her. Just wanted to know how much money there was in all the various pockets of money.
Aren't we supposed to? Yeah, that should come out in our. There it is.
Sure it is. But there may be more pockets. There may be, so we just asked the question, and we don't have the answer yet.
So you moved the mouse over to Kyle with a pen, but handed me all those papers directly.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So. So, on my deathbed.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna skip over. Oh,
That's the current budget report that has three.
where did we just see the need for another beaver deceiver? We talked about one at the bottom of the hill there at CJ's project.
Yeah, but that's not a good location for one,
I think they ultimately don't actually want there to be a beaver dam there. I don't think Mark Wetzel wants there to be a beaver dam right next to his sewer manhole.
I agree, but as long as it's on the upstream side of his sewer manhole.
Well, the problem is that they'll, remove the dam, remove the beavers, but beavers are gonna move back in and build more dams.
Yeah, I'm almost happier with a dam that's controlled than the other way around.
Controlled so that the water level remains down below the sewer.
And that structure there was pretty up out of the ground.
Well, they raised it.
They did
Yeah.
raise it, yeah.
Yeah,
But the beavers are just.
raising it more.
I just printed out a scientific paper about beaver population that I plan to read on the airplane.
It's cyclical?
Tomorrow. It goes like this.
Does it?
They compared two populations, one on the Prescott Peninsula in Quabbin
Oh,
to somewhere out on Lake Tahoe, and they both do the same thing. So it could be that we're getting to this point with our beaver population.
so I believe the technical expression George has used it before is more beavery.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then we're going to get less beavery.
Nice. Good work, George. So, where was this published?
I don't know.
Journal of Beaver?
Could be. It was on a
Do
beaver.
not Google that.
Beaver Review?
Never mind.
Stopping now. So,
But when I read it, if it seems interesting enough, I will pass it on to you guys.
that would be swell. Especially, in an area like Quabbin where, the beavers are pretty much probably allowed to do whatever they
the heck
please.
they want.
Right, so they're not controlled or constrained by
Protected, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised to find out that on Quabbin they said, and then as soon as the test was done, we got rid of them all because, because we're mass MWRA. Have you heard about those people?
I know.
Well, they do have predators too.
Yeah.
MWRA?
oh yeah.
Yeah. You're darn right we do. So according to this says, and what was the date on this? This is end of December. This says we had about $2,200 worth of beaver money. And then from the fall town meeting, special town meeting, we had $7,900 left, which we just spent $1,000 out of. Right? So $6,900. And then pond SUR, which I'm assuming is other pond money, $3,800, which takes us to 10,7. And then fiscal year 18 weed, 25 even. So we have 36 grand, plus or minus. 36,000 bucks. $36,000.
Wow.
Plus or minus.
Well, wait. Oh, so we already have the 25,000 in there. It's not the new.
It says it's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah, because we're going into fiscal year 2019, right?
So that has to be spent by July.
So we get 36 grand.
Then it has to be spent by July?
But we're still, I mean, I'm still gonna work on Robert, to work on Lisa, and this has to be able to roll over without.
Remember? We already learned why it can't. Remember? It's a lose-lose. We can't do it. Can't do it, Robert said.
I'm not giving up.
Robert said no.
didn't say- Robert said there should be a way to do it.
Well,
as it- as
I'm sorry. Who was it who said no?
As it turns out, a little further down in our packets, we have a proposal from Geosyntec that would use up all this money.
I can whip one of those up in 10 minutes.
Resource management plan.
No, but that wouldn't be for the same usage, because the 25,000 was for weed treatment, not.
Yeah,
for
we wouldn't be able
resource
to.
management.
We wouldn't be able to bump
That
that
would be a
around.
whole different.
Kettle of fish.
One more bill, one more bill.
The only one.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah.
How about that? So this is for the Massachusetts Society of Municipal Conservation Professionals, the MSMCP, right? Which I assume is now tattooed on your shoulder.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Fiscal year 18 membership form for Ms. Christoph, and it says, wait a minute. So you can be a guest speaker. You can host a brown bag.
I could.
Is there checks you could make? I see.
They are options I could choose to exercise.
So interestingly, they are at P.O. Box 375 in Lincoln. Where's MSPC?
Yeah.
MACC is in, but they're in Belmont. Belmont.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ms. Christoph has checked off full-time staff, and the dues are $20 per year per town. No, unfortunately, we've already wasted some of that, but
I know.
so 20 over 6 months, 3 and change a month, that's acceptable. But now the problem is that I don't know that we want to sign this because it's pretty. Don't you have to send it to them?
I didn't really know how to proceed, so I just thought I would bring it
Okay.
in.
What was the Angels and Demons? Isn't that the one we could sign around the margins?
Well, we could just pop it across this thing, make a copy, and then leave the pretty one untarnished, and sign the other one.
Save the pretty one for later.
Frame the pretty one.
I'm just gonna look for that.
Well, so yeah, let's. I looked at all of them. There's a little pile of.
I think someone removed George's name and used.
Well, so there's this little pile.
Yeah. George better be in there.
Thank you.
Took away my clip.
There's a cup right here.
Oh well, yeah. Here's.
But they took it out of my thing.
I don't see.
Did it fall?
Do you need another book? Do you need another paper?
Tillotson. Well, that guy's everywhere.
Oh, there are two Phillipses?
No, I'm just trying to make you nervous.
Yeah. The guy's everywhere.
Yeah, we didn't meet upstairs when we were upstairs last year.
All right,
I don't
Oh,
know.
did you?
my day started early and it's
Okay.
ending on time.
Yes.
So I would accept a motion to pay for Ms. Joanne Christoph's membership in the Massachusetts Society of Municipal Conservation Professionals for the year ending June 30th, 2018 for $20.
Second.
Oh, thank you kindly. I understand.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The brown bags are really worthwhile.
After that whole save the pretty one We just gotta stop that.
Yes, please.
Okay. So we just took care of all of our accounts payable.
Yep.
Great. Do we have any announcements?
Let's see.
How many minutes do we have? Why do we have 2?
Because last meeting went late and you said, oh, we can't do it now. And I said.
Was it like
"We can-"
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was late.
That was,
No, it wasn't 11, but it was.
Yeah, it was like 10:45.
It was a
I
long
remember it
day.
was long.
10:20.
No, but then we kibitzed for 20 minutes because we were all angry.
Of course.
We don't have any announcements, but we have a little bit of administrative stuff.
Okay.
For instance, John's membership
Ah.
card in MACC.
Yay.
Yes, very exciting.
Glancing at our
You need to sign this, yeah.
I don't think so. It doesn't come with money.
glancing at our minutes for
That's good.
12/14, we did have we did sign something for Lowell Sun for 8126 for the 16th.
Those people at the
Those
Beach
people.
Drive, those
Yeah,
people.
so that might.
It might be.
Those
As I
guys.
say, there's a real
Lag.
lag.
So did we talk about a spreadsheet for that? What a wonderful New Year presentation.
Well,
Where we list,
Yeah.
when we advertised and how much it was, and that way, if nothing else, you can say, nope, we're caught
yeah,
up.
No, that's a.
Take your bill back.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
This seems easy.
Couldn't possibly have done it when she started though, because you flooded.
Well, no, this is
No,
great.
it's already going
This is
on.
the way to do it. See, we figure out what's going on, we learn from it, and we plan so the future is easier.
It gets better every time.
Yeah, I mean, don't think about nuclear war.
The DPW is paying for me to go.
It doesn't even look like you.
I know.
Oh, that's Marsha Wilhite. Go on.
Stormwater?
Certified municipal stormwater
Inspector.
inspector.
Sweet Francis.
Yeah, it's a 5-year certificate.
So when you say they're paying you to go to the class?
They're paying the $700 and $815 for the 2 days of training.
And what are they paying us? Because you won't be here. Just
Just
bringing it up. So,
So
so that's the Tuesday, Wednesday, but you're not going to miss Valentine's Day.
no, this is a Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, before Valentine's Day is
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Hmm.
Right.
Mark Wetzel, Dan, the engineer, and I are all going.
Well, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. And where's the
That's
class?
great.
It's in Waltham, but the hotel is in Westboro.
You're staying in a hotel?
No.
It's so far away from home.
So now we know that Westboro is a suburb of Waltham.
Yeah, who knew?
I know.
Well, maybe they were just combining W's.
Yeah.
So I can't recommend flank, but Brewer's Tap and Table. You're gonna want to write this down. Brewer's Tap and Table.
Okay, yeah. I mean, who wants to be out of here by 10?
I've got. This is food.
Yeah, and we're lunch on our own, so yeah.
They have really great beer selection. They have wonderful whiskey too. So lunch.
Lunch.
Okay.
So that's all the colorful
So
folders.
that's okay. So that's our announcements.
Yeah.
That's our. Let's do our meeting minutes very quickly since we have a build up. This one is 11:30, which is when this meeting will end. Mr. Hood. Now I know I get into your list, but
No. He's doing pretty good.
Great.
He actually got me pictures on Monday before I sent him the reminder.
That's great.
that
And we have Bonnie out there.
I went out there.
I saw there was a picture that they were standing up.
Yeah, the flags were on, looked good.
I am very happy to hear that,
Yes.
Yes.
but just so we also keep in mind, he's back to school, so
Yeah.
yeah. So he was off for Christmas. He was, he had a
No,
little.
this was like Monday. Like this, he was.
After school restarted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think was it this week's Monday. Oh
This week's
yeah.
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because my Noah didn't end up having school at all last week because he was out till Wednesday, and then with snow and more snow, so he ended up with 2 weeks off.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Right, we signed. Accidental additional clearing, we talked, we met, we argued, we signed. Nashua Street Extension, is that on your list of things to talk about?
Yep.
Is it with regard to the fact that they're all excited to develop stuff, but they're still not all done with,
I met with the builder today.
what's the DPW say about the sewer problems?
Whatever they did, stopped the water running in the sewer pipe.
You talking Nashua or Riley Jim?
Pleasant Street, yeah.
Pleasant
Street,
Sewer
yeah.
issue.
What did I say?
Nashua.
Did I? Oh, my apologies. I meant Pleasant Street. John Coles.
Yeah, I keep that there because I need to get back to that. I haven't followed up with him.
John Coles, super nice guy.
Yes.
He works for Borrego. Well, he worked for Borrego, but now he works for National Grid cleaning up Borrego's mess.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is a cautionary tale of its own. Anybody have any questions or changes to the November 30th meeting minutes? All right, I would accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes for November 30th. All in favor except for John, say aye. Aye. Oh, wait.
Wait, who made the motion?
Oh, wait a minute.
George,
George did, and Bonnie seconded it.
Yeah, it was quick.
John abstained.
Yes. Abstentions?
I wasn't here.
So you get to abstain. Done.
Oh, all in favor.
Sure.
Then we have meeting minutes for December 14th.
Yeah.
You're not keeping up?
No, wait, was I here? Yeah, yes, I'm here. I was here.
You're
Was I
listed
here?
on here.
Was I there? Yeah, I was there.
You're listed as a member.
You were
Correct.
here for one of the recent meetings.
Yeah.
Which one was?
Oh,
she
she
wasn't
wasn't
here
here
for
for
the-
the 30th.
Oh, then I
I
guess
wasn't-
would you like to
I
abstain?
abstained then.
Excellent.
Oh, you're on
So
the
I seconded that one then.
Yes, because I actually didn't say anything. If you
That's true.
go back and
Yeah.
read line,
I
new line
second-
of
I
tape.
second.
Okay.
So 3-0-2.
So, 12/14, we welcomed John Smallenberger to our commission. Dan was here to talk about the DPW garage. Wright Road cross country is all done. And we had a long talk about Pleasant Street Extension. Okay. How are they doing on drainage? How did anything?
I had to remind Mark to send the letter he drafted.
Mm.
He said he would.
Did you then see the letter?
I have not yet seen the letter. Today's Thursday. I probably reminded him on Monday or Tuesday. So I will double check with him.
And you're out tomorrow? Away?
Away in an airplane headed west.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, lucky for you that the weather moving in is weather you can probably fly through as opposed to weather that shuts the airport down.
Yes. Well, the plane's at 7:30 in the morning, so I should get out before.
It's super late.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get a lot of sleep tonight.
Well,
Cackle.
so we should have gone faster.
We still can.
We have a lot to do though, so yeah.
Okay. No other major changes other than the final report. I would accept a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 14th.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Okay.
Okay. So 11:30 and 12:14. Great. Okay. Next up was our review of the Geosyntec RFP, our resource management plan proposal.
Which I did here, and unlike last year, I really just changed it all in the way that I think it should.
No, I skipped over yours.
Where
So the
is it?
Geosyntec resource management proposal.
Oh, you're over there? You skipped me?
So the Geosyntec report is behind an extra copy of Solitude's final report.
Yep, so that here. And so they offered to do this. So I saw some of the things you sent, and it looked like something that really wouldn't be all that difficult.
Well, that's kind of what I was
It didn't feel
thinking.
$29,000 difficult.
It didn't seem $29,000 difficult.
Very reasonable.
I do not have the ability to fly a drone the way they do, to do the,
With practice.
probably with practice.
I think, did DPW they were talking about flying a drone. They were.
Really?
Yeah, there are real issues with drone flying.
Could you just tell someone the Kardashians are on the other side over there? We could get people.
Well,
to
I think on the very last page of the geosyntech proposal is the.
Eagle Eye.
Yeah, the drone people. So I suppose we could hire them,
Comprehensive Environmental offer services through a wholly owned subsidiary.
maybe not.
Their pilots confirm they can legally fly a site.
But does the management plan require that kind of detail?
I think it requires a, some kind of collecting of data of what exists on the pond in terms of who's got a dock and who doesn't have a dock.
All right. So let's take some time and look this over. This feels like a. I guess so. So I'm super glad we have this.
Yes.
Right. We have a data point.
Yeah. Yep.
So one of the reasons that we were going to talk to Judith and the state people was to find out what this really took.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if we say, "Hey, Judith, we've got one for 29 grand." She goes, "What?"
Yeah.
And this, although to be fair, this is for Sandy Pond and Lower Long Pond.
Yep.
Which is long.
But no, not Long Pond. That would be that little divot over by the Cowleys.
Yeah, but I think they wanted to.
No, they were very clear what Long Pond was. Remember Long Pond was a pristine resource?
Yeah.
You think they would
So
know the
that's-
difference?
Yeah.
This is just the area over behind
But we have no need for a resource management.
RJ, CJ, Roger, what?
Great.
No, yeah, but AJ. Thank you.
AJ.
He was in the office this morning too.
Was he there for this?
No, the
No.
CR.
Let's keep it pertinent then.
Yep.
All right, so this feels really heavy compared to what we saw in the emails. Yeah. So there were several examples of resource management plans, if anybody remembers, and they really didn't seem all that extensive or difficult, or, in fact, I don't even remember seeing calculations.
No.
I don't remember seeing things other than this would be swell, and don't you like that?
Some of them had a few maps,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But
which we now have. We now have lovely maps in our.
Mm-hmm.
solitude.
Poll. Yeah.
So I guess the real question is there something that we're missing? Is there something we should know more about?
Well, and I
Look, these seem like Judith questions.
Yeah, I read really thoroughly the resource management plans in ACEC's document that DCR put out. And I think I have given you all a copy of that. And Geosyntex said that that's what they use as their guidance document.
Okay.
And so,
I don't know.
Oh.
well, I don't see why we couldn't take take a stab at trying to do it ourselves and see, and we're talking to Judith and stuff, and then if they turn it down, then we've got a really good case to town meeting to say, hey,
We tried.
we tried, and
Didn't work.
so
Okay.
this is what it would take, and if you don't want to pay the money, then people know the concept.
I'm just hoping there's somewhere in the middle of 29,000 and we spent a night doing it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so,
So,
We have a lot of information that we can pull.
we really do. We really do. And Jess has the list of the dock licenses.
so the only way this works is we say, you know what, so of course tonight's meeting wasn't supposed to take as long as it did, but it was going to because of what was going on. February 22nd. February 22nd is, why don't we do that as our own personal review of what a resource management plan will be. So for the
Well,
20,
I've invited Judy
oh,
for the 22nd, because that was one of the 2 days in February she could come, but I have not heard back from her. I've emailed her twice. I've called her once. I'm gonna keep trying.
okay. Well, then why don't we hold the
but she's-
22nd open one way or the other
Yeah,
for this discussion, and not necessarily with the entire public, although of course the public is welcome,
right.
but with the idea of strengthening our understanding and our knowledge
Yes.
base of what we need to
Yep.
do to make
Yep.
it happen.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
The Red Pond and Dam.
Oh, Dam Pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chalk, yeah.
And in the
Well, let's wait to
Dam
hear
Pond-
back from, well, no, actually, they should come anyway.
Yeah.
Because we should talk about a couple things that night. Number one, we should talk about this. And number two, we need to talk about our discussions that we've already started to have
Yes.
with DPW
Yep.
about the dam out at Balch Pond.
And I found the DPW's safety review of Balch Pond Dam and the Balch Pond Dike, and it's on Dam and Pond Committee's page on the town website.
Okay, so we've just said that February 8th is going to be for policies and procedures for money, right? For open space money. And the 22nd is going to be whatever we're going to come up with on an RMP.
Yep.
And of course, if we do have any applications come in, we do have to take
Right. And,
statutory
yeah.
responsibility to.
We do have a statutory responsibility to tell them that the next time we can see them is on February whatever it is, after the 8th. And they have two choices.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten any
Yeah, so we're hoping.
recently. Yeah.
It's interesting because I can't tell you how many times, whether it was conservation or zoning, went into a town and they said, nope, our agenda's full, our agenda's full, our agenda's full, we'll see you on June 2nd.
Yeah, but on the WPA, there are things that we have to have. We either have to have their agreement in writing that they delay, but otherwise we have to agree with them at a certain point.
Or they can apply directly to DEP.
Or they can apply directly to
Yeah, good luck with that.
something.
Pick your poison.
Okay.
But this is also the only way that we can make these things happen. Okay, 9 minutes. Why don't we do, before we get into the conservation office updates, why don't we do this discussion about our RFP?
Okay, I did it. Last year I had question marks in all the different spots. This year I just did it, so if you want to change anything, you can change it, but.
Well, didn't we just discuss just this last time that what we have is, we're almost there? What was the one thing we said we needed to have different?
We did have a couple, well, I did make changes because for one thing, based on Solitude's report, we're not looking for full pond treatments. So you have it there.
I believe you.
Okay, so, this particular time, we're not looking for whole pond treatments, we're looking for spot treatments for particular targets. So I did, because we're gonna wind up, yeah, so I did that. Couple things I added was, one, I also added a reference to all 3 ponds being Petapawag, Petapawag ACEC, which is relevant because Solitude wants to use Clipper in Sandy Pond.
And can't do that in the UCC.
Can't do that in ACEC, and I confirmed that. You can do it if you have written permission from Fish and Wildlife. I called Fish and Wildlife today. Melanie called me back around 5 to say, she finally got in touch with Miss Deanne. He said, it would require, to use Clipper would require a NISA filing, and she would, and Miss Deanne said that she would say no. So I did put,
Good to know in advance.
and I did put therefore a paragraph in here under the scope of work.
Yeah, that's right here.
Where did it go in mine?
One page in.
Did I?
Oh, scope of work.
Huh. Did you miss a page?
Scope of work.
We'll just check the page number.
No, there's no page number.
This
The Pine Meadow, and then scope of work, and then.
I'm gonna break mine out. Hold on, here we go.
All right,
I think you're missing a page in yours. The second page should start with the words "be submitted."
we submitted, I might be missing. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm printed on two sides.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's the second page. So keep going. One more should be that one right there. It should start with the words "be submitted" at the top.
I think you're missing a page.
You're missing a page.
I'm missing a
Yeah,
page.
here.
I wonder if it's in the machine. Okay, so I added that.
Did you rage against it?
Yeah, I added that note because the likely vendor that's going to respond to us with anything.
Vendor, right.
Vendor is going to respond to us is Solitude. but,
Did Missy, I'm just curious, did Missy Ann suggest what would be the best type of treatment?
I didn't talk to her directly.
Oh.
This was just relayed from Melanie.
Melanie.
And I had a specific question. But,
I like how you danced
But-
around
but-
it.
yeah.
They would be unlikely to issue an approval.
she said no. Oh, she said they would not. Where did that page go? Okay. Anyway.
Would you like mine?
You can have one. I can get Bonnie's. Okay, so I made a few changes to dates. What seemed like a reasonable time frame was to say February 20th.
Yeah.
Because February 8th seemed too certain. I just changed the project descriptions for all three ponds in light of the report from Solitude on their current recommendations. Put in a paragraph on Clipper, put in a new section on price proposal. Because on Valentine's Day last year, we decided we needed to put in something so we didn't have that mess where that other applicant turned in the price proposal.
Oh, yeah, it was all over
You
the
and
place.
Chuck spent an hour
That
trying to
was
calculate.
horrendous.
So, so that was what I came up with.
Requires little or no further calculation. So
You can change that.
maybe the
But,
maybe the way to do it is to say so most of the time when we want to get standardized bids,
yeah.
just make a sheet and it says Flanagan, bing,
Yeah,
You know.
pond.
per pond.
Yeah, we had talked about doing a cost sheet, but as I was thinking about that, I thought, you need to be able to see with the, like Solitude did do a good, cost proposal on their last one, but they only give us the one copy and that's signed and sealed and I didn't have access to it.
No, we should have gotten it.
No, because that's a sealed thing. The price proposal is one copy sealed, separate from the technical proposal. And then remember you,
Right, but-
your
Right.
Carmack.
Karnak.
Carmack.
You remember? No,
I remember.
it's tough to explain at work with the young kids.
Right.
Johnny who? we weren't here the last time. We don't have time. It's a real growth moment. Did you see that?
Yeah, go watch the rerun.
Yeah, and I don't know if you wanted to see.
So my point is that no, there's a way. We absolutely can make a price sheet.
Okay, you can make a price sheet.
All we need,
You can have it.
all we need is the one that we used the last time. Whatever Solitude generated the last time, right? And all we do is we just change whatever that was to. So what we're talking about here,
So that should be in our file.
and this is just for spot treatment. Okay, so under scope of work, you're going to want it to be 2018.
Where do you change?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Second page,
Second
scope of
line,
work,
scope of work.
second line, during the spring and summer of 2017.
Missed one.
Okay. Okay.
Time machine. Out of DeLorean. Okay, so what we're not saying is spot treatment.
No, it's up under the, each pond, objective of the project, it's in the pond. You want me to add that into the scope of work? But control growth of, it's got it. Never mind, I have it. Wrong one.
It sounded just like Karnak.
Okay, got
Two
it.
pillows.
I'm in
Two pillows. Oh, 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 oh.
I'm in business, okay.
What does my next guest have an address?
All right, so it's under, like Sandy Pond has, objective monitor, evaluate season vegetation growth, provide spot treatments to control growth of invasive buffer. And I, instead of eradicating 9%, I said maintaining eradication level.
Okay.
Because we're not.
So this makes this a scope of work,
Okay,
right?
all right,
So this should be scope of work for
yeah,
each pond,
okay.
okay? Which is fine. No, it's just you can eliminate all this. So this is no longer, and provide all materials, labor, and equipment. This isn't really the scope of work so much as it is project description. So almost what you want to do is objective statement. The goal is to reduce these things. Then underneath, consultant shall provide all material, labor, and equipment to perform the required herbicide treatments as listed in the scope of work below. Blah blah blah.
Okay, so put project description.
Under objective statement.
Okay.
So under objective statement, you're going to list what you have for scope of work, but you're going to call it project description. Make sense?
So,
And then each scope of work is below that.
okay, so I do description, move it up to here, and then call it scope.
Right. And yeah, scope of work for Sandy Pond, scope of work for Flanagan, for Pine Mountain. So you've detailed the project, which is the eradication of these weeds.
Okay.
And then you say, in Sandy Pond, well, you know what, it's spot treatment. And in Pine Meadow, you know what, it's spot treatment. And in Flanagan, you know what, it's spot treatment. So one of the things that did come up this past year, in fact, you can actually tell in the Solitude Report. These photos from April are too early. Doesn't show Jack.
Yeah. Yep, it doesn't. Yeah. No, it just looks, it's pretty photos, but, you know.
There was no vegetation on 4/18.
Well, this year was a really late spring. You never know when
I guess my concern is that if we're doing spot treatment, does it make sense to say June? You know, project to not initiate until June, so that we have documentation of growth as it's already started, and then they can treat from there.
Yeah.
I mean, they can still put us in the schedule to treat at the end of June, but we're looking for them to document at the beginning of June.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Those are lovely water pictures. They don't do us any good in determining if they actually cleared up 95%. Because here's an example. Here's a nice picture. And here's a similar picture. And so there was no vegetation on 4/18, and there's some vegetation on 9/14. You failed.
It seems more reasonable because the later you don't want to treat too early because.
Well, and when did they treat? Didn't we treat in like May?
Well, there's nothing to treat.
Yeah.
And then everything comes up in June.
Right.
Like a month later.
I think we were late in starting this
Missed
year
it.
also because of the wait.
No. We were early in starting.
No, because they were way behind on when they started compared to what they said they were going to start. But part of it was.
Oh, your initial treatment was June 12th
Yeah.
in the Pine Meadow.
So,
Planning and Sandy Pond, same. June 12th and then July 28th.
so I would in that first line change the treatments from in spring, early summer to the early summer. 2018.
Well, I guess I don't have any problem when they do the treatment, but our methodology of determining what they're treating means there has to be vegetation to figure out you're treating it.
Right.
So what that means is that the first line of your scope of work required pre-treatment notifications, printing of signs, performing inspections. Okay, so second paragraph under scope of work, consultant shall perform and provide written documentation of pre-treatment and post-treatment inspections. herbicide residue sample collection testing, project completion report. Pre and post treatment inspections shall include a photographic survey, blah, 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 data points taken 10 feet, plot of pre-treatment. Okay, so right before it says a plot of pre-treatment data, it should say pre-treatment survey to occur after 6/1/18. Fair enough?
I'll put that in bold and that.
Should have some growth,
Mhm.
should be able to see some stuff, and that way when they say, look, we treated and everything's gone. And then we said to be submitted to the commission a minimum of 7 days prior to the first treatment. We should probably indicate at this point, because I don't think we got that information from them the last time. I don't think we got the pre-treatment information before they treated.
No, and that was during.
And that was one of the things that we said we needed to have.
Yeah.
So right after it says here, a minimum of 7 days prior to the first treatment,
Mhm.
okay? The next part is that I'm trying to think of a nice way to say, we will not pay you if this is not done.
Say payment
Occurs. How about
Contingent upon receipt
contingent
of.
upon, yeah.
Payment is contingent upon submission.
payment is payment is contingent upon submission of pre-treatment survey prior to treatment.
Of pre-treatment survey
Prior to initial treatment.
to initial treatment.
And I will take the phone call when we don't pay them because they didn't turn in it ahead, and we say, how the hell do we know what you were treating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well.
Yeah.
Right?
Keeps
It's
them
a
off.
pretty fair statement.
Yes, so payment is contingent upon submission of pre-treatment survey prior to initial treatment. Put that in bold.
Right? And right after it in parentheses, just put per George Bacon. Project completion submitted by end of November. Nice.
I added that.
My guest.
Yeah.
Notarized statement. Secure DP license. Apply chemicals. Please note. Price sheet. Minimum qualifications. Blah, blah, blah. You killed it, Jess. You killed it.
Right, so we'll make those, and then next week, John and I can get it, have Robert okay it, and then do those. I'll make the changes, I'm gonna make these changes. I'm going to send each of you an electronic copy over the weekend.
Electronic.
Electronic, what did I say?
And I'm just saying.
Oh, electronic. So if anybody wants to double check that I made the changes appropriately, deal with it.
It's kind of a date weekend, but fine. So,
Have until Tuesday.
Yeah.
and I would grab that pricing sheet. Whatever we received from Solitude would be fantastic. It was all laid out, blah, 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 blah,
Okay,
blah.
yeah. And I would have used it, except I didn't have it.
I understand. Copy the sheet. Wonderful. Thank you for putting that together. Okay, so that was the RFP. We talked about resource management plan. Very quickly, is Jeff waiting on us for Peroni Park?
The engineer who laid out this path, Andrea,
Land Tech. Didn't we meet them?
Didn't she do a project that then didn't go anywhere?
Is she the one who did the house at the bottom of the hill there by the transfer station?
Yeah.
Andrea Tavares.
Remember the you know where the sewer pumping station is at the bottom of the hill? So if you go by the high school and you come down the,
Yeah.
remember there was a project that was going to be right down there. A guy was going to build a house there.
Yeah.
I think that was her.
I don't know.
Oh, that was just the guy.
Well, she came into the meeting though.
Oh.
But then we went out there.
So she and Jeff and Dan and I walked this whole perimeter path on the windiest, coldest, oh my word,
So you had a good time.
We had a great time.
This is the one I came in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
Yeah. Come to find out, it's 10 degrees cooler every single day of the year at Peroni Park, and when there's no leaves on the trees, the wind comes howling across the water.
I'm not buying it, but go on.
Yeah. So she apparently laid this path out without having walked the site. Because it's easy to draw a red line. So we had some adjustments to make. And then I asked
Does this
her-
plan represent those adjustments?
No.
Okay.
I asked her for a section so that we would have some idea what they were talking about in terms of removing material right along the edge of the contaminated pond.
So translation.
She wants to know if she needs to do an RDA or an NOI, and is hoping she can do an RDA.
On the edge of the pond.
Yes.
I'd say NOI.
And that line goes right through some big trees.
Oh, and we had some of the trees have been accommodated by moving the path far enough away so that this is a 5-foot wide paved path.
Paved or stone?
Oh, paved.
It wasn't paved before.
Paved.
Does it have to be ADA?
I thought it was.
I think.
And believe me, please don't misunderstand. I certainly want to support people who want to use the path, but paved is the
Paved.
worst thing right next to the wetlands.
Yeah, and it's either concrete or asphalt. They don't know what the surface
Oh,
is.
they'll never
but
do
it's-
concrete. Concrete's more expensive and lasts longer, so it'll be asphalt.
Right. So,
Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
On.
Ugh.
Let's see.
So if I were to look at this right now, I would say everything upland is probably fine and they can work with it and it goes through their areas and no big deal.
Right.
But then we've got this nice long stretch right along the water.
And
Okay.
they really want it right along the water.
Well, I don't have any problem with it being back from the water and they have a couple of places with their park benches like they've done.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want those places with the park benches to be paved. So I'm just not sure how we do this.
Yeah. Well, I think they're calling for them to be paved.
I believe you, but it just ducks the water right into the.
So the immediate question is RDA or NOI, and I'd say the best way for us to provide feedback and know what we're doing is NOI.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the survey? Who's gonna walk this thing?
Well, here's the best part. So, from your meeting, is it fair to say that the folks who are planning this understand that this doesn't work and they have to start over?
No, I don't think that is apparent to them at all.
Won't that be disappointing?
It's going to be really disappointing for Jeff because he is really. So Jeff is the recreation director,
And a nice guy.
and a really nice guy. He really is top notch.
So our problem is going to be that they really need to, this needs to be nailed down, going around trees, doing whatever it's going to do, new survey. Oh boy.
I don't understand why they didn't do a conceptual plan and get a lot of people's input.
Jess and I walked with him one.
He might have.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
He did that, but more.
And there was one area where it looked like they were gonna use a retaining wall or something. It
Yeah,
was very narrow.
behind his ball field.
Yeah, and they
And so basically.
they kind of hashed that out. How to.
Okay.
It's behind the backstop
Yeah.
of one ball field and above the retaining wall at the back. They figured out how to make that work through there.
How, so this is relatively straight in sections. How joggy is the path going to have to be to get around big trees and stuff, or were they just planning to cut them down?
No, it's big. It's big swooping curves to get around the trees.
So clearly
there's
not
some-
represented here,
Right.
and someone would have to really work at representing it somewhere at some point.
Yes.
And what we have in front of us is not remotely what we would approve.
Oh, yeah, and it's not supposed to be. The other thing that doesn't really show on this plan at all is where the housing up the hill here.
Yeah.
The drainage from the roofs and that parking lot come out in, if you look really closely, you can see these little,
Yeah, they come out of the wall, right?
well, they come out of the slope.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
actually, those are just drain pipes that
Oh, I
Dump
see.
right off the
Yeah, I
parking
see.
area.
Yeah.
I see them.
just,
Mhm.
and you can see how they've kind of scoured down. And you can
Yeah.
see where the grass is green because they get
Yeah.
a lot of water.
Yeah.
Well, I know the eventual plan is to complete
Yes.
this path over here.
Yes,
But it
but-
requires working with their,
public housing.
the elderly housing
Yes.
and doing some sort of agreement with the retaining wall in that
Yeah.
parking area.
And I guess that lot line is not really,
Fuzzy, is it?
it is a bit fuzzy. And my understanding from what they were all saying, that there's some challenges dealing with the housing people.
Well, so they're right next to each other. They probably have had issues over the years.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of Lancaster, where, you know, the town common in Lancaster.
Mhm.
It's a church, a library, and a town hall. Would you like to guess who owns what? Because that's all you'd be doing is guessing.
Yeah.
Because it's one piece of property and it was never broken up.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I'm guessing that's probably kind of what happened here as well.
It could very well be.
Well, because it was all owned by the town of Ayer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to spend all that pesky money on a survey.
I guess there is, to answer your question, John, there are a number of people from this neighborhood and from other places, not just in Ayer, who come and walk here because it's very flat.
Is there a
And,
dirt path?
You can
Where we're
tell-
talking, can you see where people have been?
You can tell where people have been.
Right, and that's what I remember, because the kids would walk around over
Yeah.
there. And
And the thought is, if this is 5 feet wide and a really stable surface, that's a comfortable width to walk next to somebody,
Yeah.
and that it would really be a benefit to a lot of people in town.
Well, and that sounds, that does sound better. But boy, howdy, we've got.
I know.
So, jumping Jehoshaphat. It almost sounds like the best way to do it is to walk out there and say, I think it should go around this tree, and paint, and say, GPS, pick those up, and slap them on the plan,
Mm-hmm.
and go from there.
The geese are gonna love it.
They might already
They're
love
gonna
it.
be, yeah, they already love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but they're gonna especially love it.
Mm.
Right, so next step, tell her NOI.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, unless she's willing to, is she willing to pull it 25 feet back from the water?
I don't think Jeff would be willing to do
Yeah,
that
it
because it would
No,
impact.
that's why
those-
I'm, that's so right. So I'm just
those
saying,
2 ball fields.
I've been down there, pulled
Yeah.
back 25 feet from the water, then I'm willing to go with an RDA. Anything closer, so I think probably the best way to
Okay.
express it is
Yeah.
25 feet, a walk path that's only 5 feet wide. We would be able to live with that.
Yep.
Get it closer than 25 feet to the edge of the water, it needs to be an NOI.
Yeah.
And your survey has got to be accurate
Yeah.
for us to move forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that fair?
It's
Reasonable?
infinitely reasonable.
I don't mean to be reasonable, but
Mm.
it feels reasonable. And please tell Jeff he wants to come talk to us. So we,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we appreciate and understand, but the person who drew this up had to have known that this was not acceptable. Had to. All right, shall we go to Conservation Office updates?
Sure, let's do that. The first one is, we have the emergency beaver dam removal permit
That's why
and
you didn't want these out, too.
emergency next step paperwork. Oh, thank you. So I had Bridget reissue the permit that Mark, she issued a beaver deceiver permit when Mark asked for a beaver dam removal permit, because she accidentally looked at the wrong file.
Oh, so she was deceived.
She was deceived. It was Wiley.
It was going around in the paperwork.
I know. So we've got the right permit.
I know what she said when she found it out too.
Go ahead.
Damn.
She just said, damn, just damn. Okay,
So my
so this
understanding
work
is-
has already happened.
Yeah.
So we're approving work that happened between 11/17/17, below Jacob, it's my son's birthday, and 11/30.
Yeah.
Is that your birthday? Thought I'd ask. Okay. This is an emergency, and so this was for, if I go in at the end of Rosewood, the two dams lower than that. What are these two dams?
These were the ones,
Pleasant Street?
Pleasant Street Extension upstream from the rail trail?
So the very dam I was mentioning earlier?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
never, yeah?
Yeah, it would have been
I
the one by the sewer manhole
Yeah.
that we were standing
A
at,
little further down.
the raised one.
No,
Remember there was
that's
a
new
dam right there?
That's a new dam.
So that's a dam they put in after these dams went
Yes.
away? Damn!
Damn! No kidding.
Wait, when you're going up the rail trail, this is on the right-hand side, going toward Nashua, right? On the right.
Groton.
I'm sorry,
Heading
well, yeah,
towards Groton.
Groton.
Heading towards Groton.
Heading toward
On the
Groton,
right.
on the rail. This is on the right.
Because if you were
Way
going-
down, way down
Way
in
down
Because
there.
if you were going along that way on your left is
Yeah.
Rosewood, which is
Yeah.
now a
Yeah.
stream and not a pond
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
And on your right is more pondy than it used to be.
so they removed that whole, that was a pretty big dam.
Yeah,
They removed that whole thing.
right.
And then
the
we
beavers
showed up
just
and then there
went-
was a new one.
Yeah, the beavers just went
I told
upstream
you, I knew it.
and built it right in front of the sewer manhole that was underwater, causing them to take out the two downstream dams.
I don't know how you don't love them.
Oh, and you might be.
Right? Right? Did every one of us get up this morning?
Yeah.
Despite all the crap that's going on, we are beavers in our own society.
I just remind you, you mentioned sometime this spring, we'll have a little kayaks and go from Rosewood downstream and
Yeah.
find out where all the blockages
Yes,
are.
yes, we need to do that.
We need to find out what's going on, where that is.
Yep.
And then we'll hear,
Yep. All right,
Okay.
so sign that paper,
Oh,
please.
I would accept a motion to sign this emergency certification form for the beaver dam removals, which have already occurred.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
John, when did you officially join? 12.
He was here for 12:28. No, 12:15.
That's for 11/17.
Okay.
So I'm not sure it's a good idea for you to sign, because you weren't here.
So I'm gonna say one abstention then.
One abstention. Nice work. Next on your list here?
Next on the list, Desheng has been pretty lax in sending me site review reports from Pingree Hill.
Do you think he's doing it because it's winter? Are they not doing a lot?
Well, they're still working up there. I went up there on Monday. They're digging a sewing hole. They had the biggest excavators I think I have ever seen. 2 of them. And they had lifted up chunks of frost
Yeah.
and were
Odd.
making a pile of
Stuff they couldn't use anymore.
Oh,
it's over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a comment.
And the feller buncher is still working away up there. There's dump trucks driving all over the place.
That's really surprising.
I was really surprised to see them.
That's
digging.
huge money.
You know, on Wright Road, not jurisdictional things, somebody just started building a house, just before you get to Stratton Hill, on the right, in that woods there, it's not jurisdictional,
There's a stream, but it's 100 feet from the
oh, it's
stream.
way far away from the stream by,
So they're 100 feet from the pond?
Oh, it's at the top of it's at Wright Road,
On the right coming from your house or going to your house?
oh, it's coming from my house, it's on the left.
Coming from your house, so it's on the pond side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the constant.
But it's way more than 100 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, way more, because it's,
If it was on the other side, it would be absolutely 100.
It's
Oh, yeah, no,
it's
this
across
is-
from Harry Zane's house. His
no,
his driveway.
Harry
It's
James
not-
driveway is right next to that stream.
Stream,
This
you
is,
have to be far away
right.
from that.
this
Well,
is,
pretty close. Pretty close.
not 100 feet though. It's more than 100 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From the stream?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You look
Yeah.
really nervous, that's
No,
not
I'm
your
gonna
yet.
have to-
I know, that's your,
But no, it is, I think, on the stream?
Oh, no.
remember Harry Zane's stream, there was a reason that we had to issue this driveway.
Well, I'll check it. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of the pond. But at any rate.
People are out there doing stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
it's crazy.
poured their foundation the day before the blizzard last week. Then they put straw bales on top of the concrete.
That's it?
Hmm? Yeah, now they brought in a bunch of stone around it, but it's like, who builds stuff like that this time of year?
Well, if you get the foundation, but the problem is that under the concrete law, under the rules of the Concrete Association, you want to keep a minimum of 50 degrees for 3 days for any concrete
Yeah.
foundation that you pour. So you want to treat with calcium, and then you want to tent it and set heaters up. Otherwise, you're a jackass.
I think they're jackasses.
Well,
Yes.
that's disappointing because it doesn't cure properly. If it doesn't cure properly,
Yeah, I know, cracks
We're also
and
driving
issues.
by
falling. is-
Oh, it's gonna go down the hillside into the pond.
Well, it's got, so this is, okay, so, Joe McGuire, way down the hill. Below that.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got, Sandy Way,
Yeah.
Harry Zane's driveway, the little stream, and then there's a whole section that is untouched, and then you have this little thing.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with doing it this time of year because it means that you can continue framing. Once you close the house in, you can do work in the spring, and it's good because when it gets muddy, you're not trying to dig and stuff. So there are positives to it, but you have to take extra precautions for concrete.
Yep, and they should have done it in September.
Yeah.
Or at the lake.
So anyway,
Or right for Thanksgiving.
So I get this report.
Is it this
from-
one?
Yep, this is his new format. So we have location, activity, work done and remaining to be done, and then his remarks in red are things that need to be addressed. And we have photos, which is nice. But I'm wondering what I do with this. Does he bring this up with the developer and say, fix this, this, and this?
He's by definition the developer. He's by definition part of the developer's team.
Okay.
So if he has questions on here, they're the questions for the developer. The developer failed to maintain his responsibility and was forced by the state to bring in DeShang.
Mhm.
And so now DeShang is supposed to tell him what to do
Okay. And
as a team member.
So I take it it's my job to sweep in after this and make sure this is.
Yeah, the appropriate answer to this is, thank you for letting me know. I came by on Tuesday and the work's not done. Do you know when it's going to be done?
Okay, good. Now I know. The next thing in the packet is a trail map.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
From Montechusett Regional Planning is updating their trail map of all trails everywhere, and they sent us this and wanted to know if this is more or less what we think that the trail situation in Ayer looks like.
Well, it's wonderful. I didn't know there was a Long Pond Dam Trail.
Yeah.
Where is that one?
Yeah, you
It's
walk
the one
up
that goes to
top.
the. That's the one that goes to the dam.
That's your trail.
Damn, I know where that is.
That's your trail. In mine.
And have any of you done the one with the points of interest, the yellow star over there in Groton off 119? I haven't done that yet.
I've done part
So
of it.
this one here.
Yeah.
So you come in behind the Shaws,
Oh, yeah.
the streets behind the Shaws,
Yeah.
and then you drive up in that corner,
Yeah.
and there's a
Hard to
small
find.
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small sign. It's
Yeah.
basically you feel like you're driving into someone's driveway.
Mm.
So if you were to come, you come straight off of 119,
Yep.
and the road curves like this. That's that Robbins Hill
Into the-
Road or
yep,
something.
Development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right in the corner, there's
Yeah.
a 90-degree corner, and in that corner it goes up a hill, and you go up that path, and there's 2 houses, and then there's a little parking area. And that's the start of the Audubon Trail.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I've been out there quite a bit.
Yeah, me
Nice.
too.
Yeah, is it?
Nice.
I had. It's one of the few places that I had not walked.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It looks like you can get to those trails too from the Nate Nutting Road.
Look at all those other trails over in Groton.
It's like a plate of spaghetti. Isn't it?
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
the Groton
Groton
Town
is
Forest,
amazing.
and that
Oh, is that the Groton Town Forest?
Oh,
Yeah.
and it is a plate of spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. I ran a 5K in there and came in second. And won a bottle of wine.
Nice.
So for,
I did.
There are 6 different kinds of bogs in the Groton
Yeah.
Town
Yeah.
Forest.
no fooling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a Saturday and a half.
Oh. Yep.
I meant it. I was excited now. Well, first off, these are fantastic.
Drumlin community.
And quite frankly, I think Harvard should be ashamed. It looks like we have more trails than they do.
Well,
It's not.
it's very not all of
Let's just leave it. Let's
It's just a little bit of Harvard.
let's just leave it at they should be ashamed. So
Oh, Pondview Estates. I've never been. Has anybody been up there?
Does that actually exist as a trail?
well, so
And Parkview.
Public, well, I don't know how much they actually want that to be used.
so that's the trail. You know what? That's the end of that street where the Beaver Deceiver is. So you drive all the way in.
Oh, right.
Then we stop. You go
Yeah.
down. There's a Beaver Deceiver, and then there's that little trail that goes out
Yeah.
toward Littleton, or is that Groton? It's Groton.
Yeah,
Is that little trail that goes up? But that's all it does.
yeah.
It's 150 yards.
Oh.
It's too bad that you couldn't connect the Long Pond Dam Trail up to the Pondview Estates Trail. That would be a nice little hike.
Well,
Yeah.
the problem is you're going along people's shoreline.
Right.
Oh, you are?
Backyards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go right through. That would be the problem. So
Now, what would also be interesting is if you connected, so Mountain Laurel, there's that little trail that goes in between those areas back in there.
Oh, yeah.
If you could make that come over and connect onto the end of, oh no, you'd run through, that's when you run into Lower Long Pond, right?
Yeah. We just posted.
Right. Well, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So before we get tied up in this, so it's 10:30,
Yep.
and just like George said, we're going to be here till 11.
I know.
Good call, George. Is this already labeled with all the meetings?
For January.
Didn't trust yourself on the other ones? Come on, Joanne.
Just a couple of other quick things. The Maxent manufacturing building that's just on the Harvard Air line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global Montello, which is a big giant gas station, truck-sized gas station, wants to come in there.
And
They're already approved for behind somewhere else off the Rotary.
Yeah, well, are they the one by
just
past Gervais?
Yeah.
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
I do
Yeah.
the same thing.
And they are going before the zoning board next week.
Yeah.
For the one at Jarvis or for this
For
one?
this
This new location.
Why didn't they like the other location? What was wrong with the other one?
Because the neighbors didn't like it. It's kind of a tight site.
So was it
and-
denied?
No, not by zoning. I think they just got flat from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Yeah, so they have all their approvals in hand for that first site, but they prefer this site. It's a little closer to Route 2.
And you know the gas station?
Right
Coming
across
off
the street from
Yeah.
it.
They're going, this would replace that one. They would close that one down.
So the little gas station goes away.
Right.
Yep.
This
So
would
you got
be-
the cemetery, the little gas station on your right. Across the street, you have that pole barn,
Yep.
okay, in the back with the red roof.
Yep,
Yep, and then you've got Maxent.
right.
Okay, and all that goes away?
I haven't seen a site plan, so I don't know how much of it goes
So,
away. But
so there is an intermittent stream that goes through there for sure.
oh yeah, see where I marked stream
Yeah.
on my department head review denying this?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I do have, I take that back. This is what it would look like.
Anywhere on here that shows us a stream?
So my big question is they are gonna be burying something like 5 gigantic tanks to hold various kinds of gasoline and diesel. There's a wetland, there's this little stream that is probably really just a drainage kind of thing. But it does cross under the road and connects to that big wetland.
I think that's part of the aquifer sort of protection area.
I
Very
don't know.
close to it.
Yeah.
It's very, very close to it.
My question is, the groundwater is probably pretty high here because of the wetland across the street.
Mhm.
And if they need to bury those tanks, I don't imagine you can bury them where it's wet. But I don't know. I don't know what the regulations say.
Well, the biggest problem, so it's a buoyancy. It's a buoyancy thing. So, have you ever seen LP tanks chained down to concrete? So it's the same thing. So
Oh, yeah.
floodwater comes in, the tank would
Mhm.
just break
Rise
loose.
up. Yep. Mhm.
Just so.
Mhm.
So when you do it in the ground like that, they either have to be encased or they have to weight them. It's not that it can't happen.
Yeah, okay.
It's not
So-
great.
So along those same lines, the builder, whose name is Mark, but I didn't get his last name, for Nashua Street Extension and Pleasant Street Extension, is gonna be burying big propane tanks
Where? For
for
Nashua
all
Street?
those houses.
For which?
The Nashua Street Extension houses and the Pleasant Street Extension houses.
Why?
So because of the
'Cause
same
he doesn't
reason,
want-
he doesn't want to run gas.
He doesn't wanna run gas and he doesn't wanna have to put in a 500-gallon oil tank.
Well, what about I mean,
So the bigger question is, if it's going to happen in an area that we've already looked at, he's looking at amendments.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does he know that?
No, he had no idea how wet it was over there. He and his father both. They're buying these lots from Calvin and CJ on a lot release basis. Instead of just buying them outright, they're gonna build the house on it and sell it and then pay for the lot. So I said,
So the economics of it don't matter to us. What does matter to us
Yeah.
is, then what we need to do is we probably need to almost have a quarterly checking on your hay bales, checking on your detention,
Oh,
checking
yeah.
on all that stuff, because this sounds like this project will go on for years.
so I told him I didn't know if there were orders for each of those individual lots.
It just depends on
Or-
which ones, and everyone that there's an order for the lot, they would have to make sure that it doesn't run out. If it runs out, they have to come back in and do a new NOI. So, yeah.
He was
Each lot that they develop has to come in as a new NOI.
Well, we had a bunch.
for this all. I think this all happened before me. So
not for Pleasant Street.
Oh, for Nashua we did the lot.
Nashua Street
Yeah, we did
Extension
them.
should be 100%.
Yeah, we did them for Nashua.
However, they're probably almost about ready to run out.
Right.
So one of the reasons for doing this as a lot release basis was so that the orders would stay with Calvin and stay with CJ rather than transferring to a new owner. So he said.
So, tell me this much. So remember we talked about putting together a spreadsheet that said when when our orders were and when they would run out. Had you had any luck with that?
Oh, I have not even gotten to that.
Okay. So, I think maybe just starting with these 2 projects, if nothing else.
Yep.
That really feels. So you should be able to get. Isn't the majority of it right on the DEP website?
Yeah.
You go right on the DEP website, you can select Ayer,
Mhm.
right? And it will give you all of the NOIs and when they came about. And so you can populate it, and you can come out the 3 years, and you can say,
Oh, man.
hey, by the way, you guys need to know you're about to run out.
One of the reasons I haven't gotten to this is because I thought I had to go through 10 file drawers worth of files.
No, we're
to
here
find
for you.
this information.
We're here for you. It's on the DEP website.
Oh, great. Good. All right. That makes this a piece of cake.
By the way, I do have, if you want to look at the concept layout plan for the Global Montello place, I can show you.
Well, so
Well, is it
we
this
gotta,
one
is it
that
this?
Damn, you're fast.
So,
Never mind.
This was the packet we got as for department review.
well, I do prefer the Global Partners sign to the one from Hafner's.
And I also think the stormwater on this site could be really interesting because where the heck is it going to go? They're talking about paving the whole thing.
Well,
And
they've got above ground stormwater basin over here.
yeah,
I'm not seeing any topo. So I'm not sure how they're gonna make the entire lot run into one stormwater basin.
it does slope gently uphill from the street.
Yeah, that's the worst possible thing that could happen.
I know.
And also so when you turn this in, also put on it that this will absolutely trigger a third-party engineering review because none of us are capable of speaking to all the standards that come with building a fueling station.
Yeah. Well, I denied it. I had to turn it in.
Well,
So,
Oh no, that's perfect.
yeah, yep.
But it absolutely needs to be, they need to know.
Okay.
well, they'll be at the zoning meeting too, I can mention that next week. So you gave a negative recommendation, that doesn't deny it.
Oh, no.
That just
no.
says,
But it's one of the boxes I get to check off.
yeah. and
I
it-
can't-
Approve modifications or disapprove. I guess I
Yeah.
disapprove. I
Yeah.
don't deny.
Okay.
The-
Disapprove strongly even.
Yeah.
I got that. I got the
Um,
impression.
We received this notification, which you all have, about release that was cleaned up before we even knew it happened, apparently.
Where?
High and long. It's a National Grid, it's 100 Groton Harvard Road on October 30th.
No floor.
Yep.
Groton Harvard Road.
Yeah, Bradford Street. What would the transformer release be? What? Is that
Well,
what
there's
it is?
a, let's not even use the word oil. There's a material inside the transformer that cools it.
It says no PCB MODF release, so I don't know what MODF is, but it must be what PCBs used to be.
Right. All right, a condition of no significant risk.
Yep.
There you go. That was nice, huh?
Yep, great. And then the very last thing is this 2-page of where all the projects are and who's come and talked and
Yeah, so Henry Hill, DeShang should be telling you what he's doing.
yeah.
Nashua Street, for sale signs came in, lots will be developed, and we definitely,
Oh, Barry with 2 R's.
yeah, I saw that. I let it go. I just assumed it was Scottish.
It might
He's
be.
proposing to bury large propane tanks. Water breakout. AJ, CR, everybody's happy. She wants a path. We want to walk his path.
Yep.
Yeah.
Willows, some mostly snow. Rosewood Ave extension, air, solar. Have been down any of those?
Not lately, no.
Do you have snowshoes?
I got these interesting sort of cross-country ski snowshoe hybrid things for Christmas.
Cool.
Yeah.
So really,
now
it's just
I'm
disappointing you
re-
haven't used them yet.
Well,
It's going to rain for 2 days.
I
There's
know.
not going to be anything to use them on.
right.
Jonathan Oak Ridge Drive, foundation it before Christmas. Workable solution.
Oh, also, 26 Oak Ridge Drive.
What was 121?
What's
The steep hill,
Yeah.
more boulders, more boulders, more boulders.
I know.
Oh my lord,
I
they
know.
really filled in back there.
They really did.
Also, the
They're just-
line,
Wait. More boulders, more what they really filled in
With
different than the
boulders.
plans?
No, I think it's hard to tell.
yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
I have to go back and look at it. But
So what do we
the
put?
boundary line, they really cut like a little bit further than the boundary.
What do you mean by that?
The conservation boundary
They cut
line?
into the conservation?
Yeah,
Oh, that's,
yeah.
So that's kind of a deal.
Yeah, it is a deal.
So
Yeah.
what is Roger Kennard doing about that?
Well, I will have to go over there with the plan and take a look,
Yeah,
because that was,
yeah.
Jess, you remember that was like my very first day on my own, and I drove over there, and the guy's cutting
The
trees, and I'm in a complete panic. But ended up having a really nice conversation with him. So I don't know. I don't know. I've been back and forth with Roger multiple times about the erosion controls, because
Mhm,
they're pretty
mhm.
minimal,
Mhm.
so that they can be opened and closed.
And they're just driving over them.
And now they're just driving
Yeah,
over them.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
So
yeah.
the easiest way to put it is to say, Roger, you stood in our meeting and said you would move them back and forth. If you can't do that, I'm going to have to shut your site down.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah, and he has been super responsive every time I've called him. He's either run right over there and beefed them up, or opened or so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He told us himself that's
Yeah.
what they would do.
yeah.
All right, resource management plan we discussed, February 22nd meeting. Whoop, whoop. Gary Schimmel to remove the cottage, excellent. Did Snake Hill Road, so did they come up with a plan that was acceptable to the building inspector for water?
They haven't gotten that far yet.
So he's going to remove the cottage without a plan.
Without a plan to build the house.
Without a permit to build the house, he's going to remove the cottage.
Yeah, he just needs a demolition permit, which he came in and picked up. All you really have to do is lean on that cottage about like this, and
Yeah, but it'll end up in the neighbor's yard.
well, then you lean on it like this.
Can I stand in your yard? How come?
Yeah. Yep.
Wright Road cross-country water main, fantastic. DPW garage, fantastic. 144 Sandy Pond Road, what's that?
That was the solar, ground-mounted solar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all squared away? They
That-
cut the tree down.
They shut them down because they hit water at 5 feet, and they needed to dig a 7-foot deep
Really?
hole for. So they filled holes back in.
Yeah.
Water everywhere.
Well, it's right
Every
on the
bloody
wetlands.
where.
So why didn't they just make a bigger post?
Because they
Skip the depth.
they were going to have to engineer that. They had engineering for a 3-foot diameter, 7-foot long post, but not for a
5 foot.
5-foot wide, 4-foot deep post. So
All right, One Wagon Road, they're reconsidering their approach. Community Dog Park, fantastic.
Yeah.
Approved, so we'll see that in the spring, hopefully.
yeah.
All right. You were just barking about that the other day, George. Self-storage facility at Devon's. This one we just talked about.
Oh yes.
Global Montello, that's the
Yep.
truck station. Ponds report is here. Resource management plan cost is here. Ridiculous. Land use team, zoning about Ublake, fantastic. Robert Hood, young, nice man. New plan. Annette Moore came and talked to us. She needs to fix her house. You met John Coles, super nice guy.
Yep.
And Balch Pond Dam found the dam and dike inspection reports.
Yep.
Okay, so, you know what? Can you see about doing whatever we can for the dam? Maybe just that stuff on the 8th.
Say that again.
So you know how on the 8th we're going to do the policies and procedures. So maybe on the 8th,
We do
bring what you
dams
found
too.
for Balch Pond Dam.
Yep.
Just because we'll find a way to reach that in.
Yep.
And then we'll work from there. Does anybody have a member update that's crucial?
Joanne suggested earlier just to speed along our meetings, maybe handing out packets ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure it would speed along our meetings, but it might.
Based on what I just saw, I can't imagine it does, but there's a chance. Although then there'd be more discussion.
Yeah.
Nothing urgent.
Yeah.
We can discuss it
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
Can I just mention one thing that we might want to discuss at a later meeting? Can you give me the, oh no, Joanne has it, the sign off of the Pleasant Street beaver dam removal?
Damn.
We're going back there again.
Let's see.
So I noticed that the two manholes, I don't know how much it would cost, but they could be moved closer to out of the wetland.
No, they can't be.
They can't be?
No.
No, because there's a sewer line that goes underneath.
I know, but you can move the sewer line.
That would be huge.
What?
You think that would be a huge
This is
deal?
the look here. See this? This is the street coming down. Here's the sewer line.
Yeah,
Every time every turn, there has to be a manhole structure.
but it's gonna be drained to begin with.
No,
You don't think it's gonna be drained?
Absolutely.
they've
not.
already tied into it. It's already.
They've already tied into it. Okay.
My bet would be that was an existing structure that was down there, and
Yeah.
they just put a new cover on it, raised it up, and drilled a hole into it.
All right,
Well,
all right.
they drilled a hole into the existing structure below. They had to dig.
Right.
They dug out the manhole,
Bored a hole.
put the new sewer line into it,
Yeah.
sealed it up,
Yeah,
filled it back in,
yeah,
and then put
And then raised
a
that top.
riser, just a
Right.
To make it more tolerant.
tube with the new manhole cover, so that it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And they
Moving
All right,
moving a sewer line
forward,
is
okay.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, okay, too much.
The better solution
It's
would
huge.
have been close that one off, create a whole new sewer line down under the streets or something. You suggested that years ago. Now
Well-
that down Broad Harvard Road.
one of the things that we talked about. Actually, what we really talked about was stop doing that. Don't run the sewer all the way down through there. End it back where it should end. Put a pumping station and then run a force main
Yeah,
so that you don't go in the wetland at all.
right.
That's the way to fix
Yeah,
it.
that's the way to fix it.
That's
Yeah.
the way. Because right now, remember out on School Street, Groton School Road.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's remember we did the pumping station there. It must have been 5 years ago.
yeah.
Remember that when we they rebuilt it? Everything from up on the hill where the school and where the hospital are comes to that spot
Right,
to then be pumped.
pumped, back up.
So what if you stopped it before it got to the wetlands? And then all the people on the other end, their stuff continued down to that pumping station and away it went.
Right,
But put a break in the middle,
yeah,
put a new system on that side and make
Yeah.
it go away.
yeah, yeah.
That
That would be a good solution.
would have fixed that.
It was a nice thought.
It was a nice thought.
Yeah.
No, because I just saw
Yeah.
the two, I'm like, just
Yeah.
move them, disconnect
I
and
know.
move them back, in.
Yeah.
That would be a bigger draining project than for the Rosewood extension.
Yeah, yeah.
I just figured you drain into.
Wait to the next journal.
Did you want a motion to adjourn?
I think I did.
Anyone want to second that?
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.